Hello everyone, and welcome back to Myth Heist. Yay! It's Myth Heist. Um,
Cool.
we're here with everyone. You should know their names by now, right? We've done two
Two? This is
intros.
three?
Do you want to do a third?
No.
No,
Okay.
I quit.
Let's just
I'm
lie
outta
this
here.
one.
Bye.
You know me or
Hello,
you don't?
everybody. My name is Chryolain.
I'm
It
barely
might be
caffeinated. I
confusing
run the
because
YouTube
BK and I are
channel.
both wearing glasses and white t-shirts, so like, gonna really throw the audience off. They'll think we're one another.
I'm actually going to swap your cameras over at the start of this, just so that you do throw everyone off.
It's close. It's like a baby blue.
Oh, it's a baby.
I can fiddle with the white balance and like make it look white if you really need me to. But then that'll make my skin look like super red. So
Anyway, so
yeah,
announcements. You should check all these guys out because they're cool. Also, there's no Grace today, but she should be back next time. I think I said that last time, but I mean it this time. She should be back next time.
he didn't mean it last time.
Yeah,
He lied
yeah,
to you.
that is what I said. Also, that's like at the time.
Scheduling is not Equa's strongest suit, but that's okay.
Ouch.
We love him regardless. Don't you ouch me? We
Ouch.
just talked about how you lied last time.
My feelings, they hurt. So yeah, we don't have any announcements. We don't do that anymore. So we're just gonna jump in. Now I've learned from last time, you guys. I know I threw it out to all of you. If you wanted to do the recap, then you could. But this time, I've decided that that's a bad idea. So I'm just gonna do the recap. Okay. Glad we're all on the same page. So previously on Myth Heist, our story started in the seaside city of Port Gestra, and we met up with travelers Det, Lithrain, Akan and Ulfgar, and Klein, and Jump, the one known as Jump. It seemed that throughout varying curious circumstances, you all crossed paths in some way or another in the day. And in turn, each of you were envisioned with and came across a spiral-shaped numerical sequence that you focused on, and all decoded, or in Cryo's case, had it decoded for you. And you discovered it to be an invitation directed towards a master thief. The destination included was on Torm Street, and you found yourselves each heading that way. Whereupon, I'll put the word whereupon in my recap. God, I'm so pretentious. You entered the house using individual methods that played to everyone's individual strengths, and began navigating the interior. Some challenges arose, like Klein's arm getting stuck in a bear trap, and Ulfgar being suffocated by a rug, and Jump being brought almost to death by Klein. But eventually you found each other and agreed to tackle the house as a unit. And the strength in your numbers was quickly proven when you were faced with a creature known as a cloaker, and you managed to take that out in one round, and then work in unison to decipher 5 puzzles before walking to what you assume is your final destination in the house, which is the basement. And that is where we pick up our story. So, for recap here, you guys all found yourselves in the kitchen. The kitchen has that big portrait on the wall, the table and the chairs behind you, and the many doors that you came through one of them. But you focused in on the picture and managed to do the little like suitcase combination thing on the bottom of it, and it swung open to reveal a staircase that descends down. It's not like fully dark down there. Like there is light down there, but it's dim. What do you guys want to do?
Descent.
Walk down. That's what we're doing.
And I dive
Okay,
Head first.
so
down the stairs.
Jump takes a jump, and I'm so tempted to make you roll a check for this, but I'm not going to because I'm not that mean. You guys walk down the stairs. It takes you a minute to get down. The stairs are not super duper like tall. They're real short, so you can almost like kind of slide down it. But it's a straight shot down. It doesn't curve in any way. And when you reach down there, you manage to find sort of an opening, like the staircase opens out into a wider room. And ahead of you, there lies 6 doorways. Standing in front of those doors, and the doors are closed, is a familiar female Minotaur, dressed in a little tuxedo, braided hair, weapon on the back, but on the back. And she kind of grins as you all come down. How do you approach? Are you doing it stealthily? Are you doing it kind of calm and collected?
Charmingly.
Charmingly.
Yeah.
Great, absolutely.
Has it been an hour? It's my question.
Probably, yeah. I'd say so.
Okay. Okay, we're back to normal then.
Yeah, she kind of grins as you charmingly walk down the stairs towards her. Arms are folded, and she looks at all of you, kind of looking over to Ulfgar, and then there's like a faint squinting of the eyes, and looks back to you, Akan, and she kind of like... She gives you the evils for a second, but then gets past it.
Yeah, I was just gonna shrug.
Yeah, she says, "So, welcome to the basement. I need each of you to go in a door."
Separately, you mean?
Yeah.
What are the odds that something on the other side kills us? Or tries to? Is there any difference between the doors? Are they...
No, they appear to be totally identical. They're about 6 feet apart.
How many doors are there?
There are 6.
6.
Okay. Klein goes in the 6th door.
Okay. Klein opens the door and walks in.
I'm gonna roll for that. Akan goes in the 3rd door.
I go in the 2nd door.
Wolfgar goes in the 5th.
The 5th door. So we're vacating the 1st and 4th door.
Correct.
Fair dues. Yeah, you all walk in, and what you see ahead of you, you're basically entering into a booth. Kind of like, from personal experience, a voiceover booth. It's like, you can kind of like feel your arms press against the walls. Ahead of you is another door, and on front of the door is like this square panel. And that's the first thing that you see. As you all enter, the doors are closed behind you. And it is dark in here, there is no light. And then you hear kind of like shuffling. And it goes from behind you to ahead of you. And then you hear like this faint like... as something is brought closer to like the front of you guys beyond your respective doors. And you hear a new voice kind of clear their throat. "Well, hello everyone. It's nice that you've finished this particular puzzle that has brought you down here. I am not going to say my name yet, but I see that you are all acquainted with each other. This is your final challenge of the day. If you get this right, then there are rewards for you, and we will talk about you continuing forth to our job that was advertised, yeah?"
Yeah.
Alright.
So, you are each yourselves in a booth. You will note in front of you is a door. Your objective is to escape through that door. There are multiple ways in which you can do this. You may survey the room and find out if there is a way that suits your particular strength. But there is another option. The first person to leave their room will win a total sum of 500 gold pieces. The second person will win 400 gold pieces. The third will win 300, 200, 100, and nothing. Alternatively, since there are 4 of you, there is in front of you a square slab attached to the door. It should light up now, and you will watch as a symbol appears in front of you. This symbol will unlock another person's door. If described to them, they can draw it on their own tablet, and it will unlock their door. Should you all choose to trust each other, and you all leave at the same time, each of you will get 300 gold pieces for equal treatment. So the choice is yours. Would you like to trust each other? Or would you like to beat out the competition?
So, if we do it separately, it's 500, 300, 200? Was that what it was?
It's 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, and 0. The reason that
because it's only 4 of us.
Yeah, because there's only 4 of you. It's a 300 like round sum, basically. Instead of it being like 333 or whatever it is. I don't do maths.
Klein will describe the carving in Klein's room, but if anyone leaves the door before Klein will electrocute them. Are these terms agreeable to others who are not Klein?
Yeah, kid. I'm all ears.
Yeah. Fine.
Sounds fine, lad.
I will describe the shape that has appeared on my little light.
Okay. Your shape is... It's like half a circle. It's like a semicircle. And then a diagonal line straight down. And then another half semicircle.
It's like a prohibition circle?
It's kind of like an N with busted out sides.
Okay.
Okay.
Take a wheel and cut it in half, pull them apart, and then draw a little diagonal line between them.
I assume based on the terms of the rules, we all kind of need to just guess at which one makes sense for us, which means we all probably need all the information we can get. I'll walk up and start describing mine, because there's no point in testing. We don't know which one goes to which, do we?
You don't know. The only way to know would be for everyone to try it.
All right.
So does everyone try it?
Yeah.
Okay. Akan, you trace the symbol on your tablet and your door, and if you wanted to, you could walk out now, and you could get the most gold.
But you will get repercussion from Klein.
Yeah. Akan is not going to endanger himself. These folks look scary, I think.
Okay, who's describing their next symbol?
I'll go.
Okay, your symbol is... It's kind of like there's a circle in the middle, and coming out from that circle are 3 lines, kind of like in a triangle shape. And on the end of each of those lines, it splits off into 2, like a Y. So it's like 3 Ys connected by the butts to a circle.
Okay. All right, so we got a circle, and then coming out from looks like 3 Ys.
Everyone traces
In
that
what
symbol.
direction are the Y?
To kind of kicking out at, I don't know, 45 degrees sound fair?
It's a triangle, so whatever triangle, 90 degrees. Fucking.
There are a lot of triangles.
Yeah. What's the how many degrees is in a triangle? 360, so 120 degrees.
120 degrees.
Yep.
Like 120 degrees to him.
That's very, very hot. Why is this circle on fire?
So the other two of you trace your shapes into the pad, and Klein, your door opens. You don't see anyone else out there, so you could walk out now and get the 500 gold if you chose to.
Klein threatened you all. But Klein did not threaten himself. No, Klein will stay.
Okay. So Klein stays
All right.
in the booth as well.
Hey, whose doors are open? Mine just opened with the little kid's description. Who's open just now?
Me.
We can't see each other, right? Okay.
No, you're all like in a row, so...
Gotcha. Like mine's facing a second. Yeah. All right. Here's my symbol.
Okay, so you describe your symbol. Your symbol is kind of like, it's a D, like a capital D, and then a line, and then a reverse D. Like a barbell.
Ah.
So like the curves of the D's are facing the inside
Yeah,
or
basically.
the outside?
The inside.
All right. Yeah, this one's like kind of like a half circle facing in, and then another one on the other side also facing in and a line connecting them. Anyone want to try it?
Let's hope.
You both try it, and Ulfgar, your door opens. You could leave now and get the 500 gold if you wanted. Hell, if you left now, you could tell Khan and he could get the 400 gold, and you guys could be 900 gold richer.
I could, but I stay to my word.
And I will describe my symbol then.
Describe your symbol. Your symbol is basically a capital P on top of a reverse capital P, and then from the like tippity tops, going away from the thing, the semicircle, there's like just a trail coming off of them, basically, as if they were in motion.
Mine has 2 P's and some lines, and coming off the tops of them.
Make a wisdom check for me, Jump. For 2 P's and some lines. What'd you get?
11.
11. You draw a P and a P next to it and some lines underneath. Then nothing happens.
Klein has realization. Lady outside of doors. Klein has question based on realization.
The Minotaur kind of... you don't see her, but you hear a voice speak out from in front of you. It says, "Yeah."
Are these doors locked, like from the outside? Like, could you open them?
I could.
Like, could we open them? Like, just anyone outside could open them?
You could, but if you leave your door...
Klein walks out.
You
Klein
hear...
walks out, goes to the closed door, and opens it to let Jump out.
Okay, so you...
Jump, assuming
we've
he's the
heard that.
last.
Like,
So you leave the booth, and you walk over to unlock Jump's door. You do so,
Everyone can come out now.
and everyone
What?
comes out.
I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I guess
yeah.
what's the timing? Does he successfully open my door by the time he says that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't say it until
Yeah.
I open the door.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
door.
Jump, assuming he's the last, walks out, assuming that just his random scribblings, trying his best to figure out what the fuck Ulfgar said, just walks out and he's like, okay. I got it, I think.
Come out, you two. Come here. Come on.
Yeah, Akan is gonna step out of his booth and go. If there's only 4 of us, that's actually more money than if we each split 300. Isn't it?
Huh.
Klein did math!
Good job, kid.
Okay, so who? So Klein walks out first. Who walks out second, third, and fourth?
I think it's jump, right?
Yeah, because I assume that I'm last, and just walking out would be
Yeah.
like.
Okay. Sick. And then so you two walk out together. So you walk out, and the room is dark still, but then you see lights begin to pop on, and you look in front of you, and you see the room itself is long. It basically takes up the entire basement of the house, and so on the back wall, there is like these 2 boards that are pinned up against the wall. In front of that is a desk and a chair. The chair is pushed to the side of the desk, though. It's not behind the desk. As well as on the sides of the room, like armor racks that are empty, shelves that don't have anything on them aside from dusty candelabras and, you know, random bits and bobs. And standing in front of the room is that big, like, lithe but strong Minotaur. And in front of her is a wheelchair-clad tiefling man. He looks older. Liver spots, like very thinning, graying hair that is a little long and stringy. Wrinkles that have invaded his face. His like blue skin is roughened, and he has this like slightly crooked nose. You see on his hands he wears multiple different rings. And he's wearing nice clothes, but dirty. Crumpled. Probably not washed in the best way. And he looks forward to you all, not with a smile, but with just kind of this like stern, stony, almost off-putting glare that he has. And he says, "Well done. So, the little one gets 500 gold, and you get 400, and then 300 and 200. Yeah? Good,
What?
come on."
Does this tiefling man look familiar?
He looks like an aged version of the guy in the painting.
No.
So he snaps his fingers, and the Minotaur kind of wheels him around, and sets him up to the back of the desk. The chair is pushed away now, you see, because his chair goes in there instead. And he reaches under and he pulls out a chest of coin and opens it and begins counting out money into a bag of 500, which he slides across the desk, and then a bag of 400, which he slides in another direction. So on and so forth.
Klein reaches in and pulls out some money. Until I have 350 gold left, so I pull out 150 and I put it down.
Okay, so you pull out 150 of your gold from your bag and set it down on the table. He kind of like raises an eyebrow up at you, and then goes back to counting.
What are you doing, kid?
You are stupid. Do not worry. Klein will handle. Klein is good with money.
Okay.
And as everybody gets divvied their bags out, Klein, assuming no one stops him, just breaks up the money we get evenly into 4 sacks of 350.
Okay. So
It's all right over there.
I like this lad.
Who wants the 4th one? Klein does not need money.
What? Well, that's 350 for everyone.
Yeah. I pull 50 out and I just go, 100 for each of you.
Are you sure, kid? You might need stuff for whatever comes next.
Like what?
Weapons, tools.
No, I will be fine.
Well, I'll hold on to it for you and start a savings bond.
In what
Smart.
bank? Like,
I'm
I
gonna
mean-
stand by Ulfgar because
I'm taking the 100 he divvied up.
Yeah. So, essentially, each of you get 450 gold, apart from Klein, who gets nothing.
I get 50. I took 50 out for myself.
Apart from 50. And the whole time, the old man is just kind of sitting there, arms crossed, watching you go.
So then,
Well, you'll probably need that for resources, bribes, etc. Well, good job, I suppose. You've done it. You beat the puzzles in the house. They're not much, but they might be some indicator of what's to come in this next job. You don't have to take it if you don't want to, but I think it's alluring to all of you in your own respective thieving manner. And he kind of like looks Ulfgar up and down. So, this job, how many of you are new to this city? Wonderful. You ever heard of the steel bands of Krem?
None of those words mean anything.
have I?
Yeah, you guys have both heard of it. It's
Sick.
the central bank here in Port Chester, and it's very well guarded. No one actually knows where they keep the money in that bank. There are rumor that there are vaults underground, and that those vaults are protected by the various things: traps, monsters, all sorts.
Yeah, the place is a fortress.
Yeah, we're going to rob it.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to do you one better. We're not going to rob the whole bank. That's too much money to get away with. We're going to rob Krem's personal vault. Krem, for those new to the city, Osidius Krem is the man who owns the bank. He inherited it from his father, who inherited it from his father. And he's the main forerunner of it. The rumor is that he has his own personal vault in the deepest level, where he keeps the most interesting things. And that's the vault that I want to pick. Now, obviously, in my current state, I'm in no position to do this myself, which is why I have advertised this particular mission to the best thieves this side of the Broken Empire. I'm hoping that is you. If not, then we're all going to die. But if we do it, you are going to be the richest people, richest individuals on this part of the continent, probably.
Got a nice ring to it.
There will be many rings. We will be rich.
Are there any questions about the base idea of this task?
Klein has question.
Then speak it.
Why did you put out silly spiral poster for job instead of asking people?
What, are you crazy? You want people to catch on to this? You want the police to understand that we're attempting to rob a bank? No word gets around. It's got the street that this house is on is in the invitation. They would come knocking. They would know.
Maybe they would go to the party down the street on accident.
Those damn kids. Making too much noise.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You're not just talking about robbing a bank. You're talking about robbing the bank. You're robbing the bank that we joke about robbing, and everyone has a good laugh, and everyone goes back to doing what they were doing. You're not serious, are you?
I'm deathly serious. Krem is a weasel and a snake of a man. And he deserves it. It's been coming to him for some time. There's a reason that people joke about robbing this bank. It was only a matter of time before it happened. And look at me. My days are numbered. I would like to see it happen in my lifetime.
Klein leans into Ulfgar and quietly whispers, just, is he a weasel or a snake? They're two different things.
And it's very obvious if Wolfgar is leaning down because he is 6'5", so he has to really, really crouch down.
I'm not quite sure. Sure. What has this man done that makes him a weasel snake?
He's done many things in his life. A great deal. I'm not here to spill my own story to you. I don't even know you. You are, for all intents and purposes here, clients for me. But just know that he is a terrible excuse of a person. He's a monster.
So, what do you get out of this?
Oh, good. I almost forgot. I'm also going to offer another incentive for this. Most of my reward for this particular mission is the personal satisfaction that I will get for his personal wealth being flushed away. But, to all of you, should any of you decide to leave the city after this endeavor is accomplished, I wish to go with you, far away from this wretched place. And to those that stay, in exchange for this, I will offer the deed to this house.
Can you take the rugs with you when you leave the house?
Kind of like snaps to you. You wouldn't respect those rugs anyway.
They did not respect him.
Oh, you mean the enchanted rug. Did you kill it?
Yes, you may need to replace it.
It's a shame, I liked that rug. I don't intend to replace it.
What about that monster you left in the library? Was that you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Taking money from the oldest of the old money in the entire city. Sounds like a good time to me.
Wonderful. So, if we are all in agreement here, these boards are your planning boards. He beckons to the two boards behind him. You may use this house as your home base. I only ask that you be discreet in your visiting it. If those who are here have no home, you may stay here for the time being, but I have rules. You may not go into the locked room in the upstairs. And you must learn where all the traps are, and you must respect my privacy. And of course, he beckons over to the Minotaur. But aside from that, you may stay, eat the food, piss on the carpets, I don't care.
For sake of clarity, which locked room upstairs?
As you go up the stairs and you take a left, it's the first one on your right.
Is that familiar to any of us as a room that we entered?
It's familiar to Klein, because Klein tried to open that door and did not.
Okay.
Oh, good thing Klein did not have lockpick.
So
Okay.
we're all in agreement then.
Well,
Good.
you can't feign ignorance, Klein. Shame. But okay. We won't go in
Mike?
there.
Why
Well,
would
if-
Klein feign ignorance? Klein did not go in room. Klein just wanted to go in room. Klein could not.
And
I
now
gotta
we
say, I respect the kid. If we're gonna be robbing the most secure bank that I've ever heard of, together, I think a little bit of honesty goes a long way.
Yeah. Honesty among thieves. And then when we're done, we'll go down to Trestle and rob the Iron Bands, right?
Sure. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Why not?
It's in the same family. Crime still gets some of the profit from that, because it's technically his.
Ooh, after that, can we go inland and rob more places?
I kind of would like to not rob a single place after we're done with this, kid. One big job and then I'm done.
Oh.
That's what they all say.
And then he turns to the tiefling man. And you can come with me. Assuming we survive this, of course. And then turns to Ulfgar. Yeah. What do you say?
Sounds good.
I don't need to go far. I don't need to go all the way across the continent. I just need to find some place where I can sit. And I don't mean like this. And he kind of beckons over to the chair that he's in.
Klein was in the middle of raising his hand. And he's like, I mean like this, and he goes back down.
Well, Trestle is a beautiful place.
So, it is your job to go and research this place, find the intel that you need to find. I assume since you are all master thieves, you have some idea of what you need to do. But I have some information for you as of present. It's not much, but it will do. And he kind of turns and pulls out like a bit of charcoal and begins writing on the board. And he explains it to you, basically. The bank is owned by this guy, Osidius Krem. Krem has a house or apartment or some kind of living abode in the city. This tiefling guy doesn't know where. But he does have family. He's got a wife and 2 children. Which he just points out and leaves there. Krem has 2 kind of right-hand people. The person who handles most of the financials of the bank is a guy named Joreth Califra. That's Jorreth. Joreth. He's quiet and keeps to himself a lot. So it's hard to find information on him, but he's there. He works at the bank. The second person who is at his right hand is a woman called Fiduron Theskvin, and she basically handles all the workers. It's Fidduron. She's much more vocal. She's kind of a loud person. And a lot of the workers don't like her because she's kind of mean She's very stern. She's demeaning. The tiefling man doesn't know what these people will have to offer, but if you need to find a way around Krem to find out information, those two are options for you. So that's the starting point for you. Everything else, bring it back here and we'll put it up on the board and formulate a plan, yeah?
Just the 4 of us, right? Well, 5, 6. Dude, he kind of like looks at him and then looks at the Minotaur.
So far, yeah.
Were more invitations put out?
I put invitations all over the city. Who knows when people will have gotten them.
Are we the only ones that have made it here?
So far.
So far. 6 doors. Do you expect only 6 people to make it?
Yeah.
I respect it. Well then. Sounds like a bang-up time.
Oh, and try to keep this secret. We don't want people sniffing around this business.
Can do.
Okay, so what are you waiting for? Go figure something out. Or sleep, or do something. I don't care what you do.
Sounds good to me.
It's nice time.
Jump's gonna... I assume there's some level of obvious exit. Is it back the way we came?
It's back the way that you came, yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll go dig around, see what I can find.
Yeah, return here when you have something.
I'm going.
And you go?
Goodbye, pervert.
Why did you... Off he goes. Well, turns to Klein. Do you have a place to stay, or
Klein
you
sleeps
want to?
behind the dumpster.
Oh.
Do you maybe want to come with us? There's a place where we kind of hang out. It's up to you.
Klein likes Klein's dumpster.
Oh, I mean, okay. If you like the dumpster, then far be it from me to, you know.
Okay. Guten Nacht, nice man. Pats you up on the shoulder, then turns to Ulfgar. Guten Nacht, smart man. Pats you.
Ulfgar places his hand on your head.
It's like you just palm his entire head.
We'll see you around, lad. Be safe.
Guten Nacht, big scary lady, and no leg man. Bye bye. Go up the stairs.
No leg, man.
I should point out, he has legs, for those of you who are wondering. He does have
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yeah, as you go, the Minotaur's like, goo, ting, bye.
Well, I kinda guess we best be on our way then.
Agreed.
And as we go to turn away,
I will admit, though, I am a little concerned. You see, I'm not a thief. And definitely not stealthy.
I'm sure we can work around it, Ulfgar. Come on. Crazy job. Might be easier than everyone imagines. Although, that's just wishful thinking on my part. This is going to be a doozy.
Well, if you need the muscle, I'm definitely here.
Oh, I know I can always count on you for that.
Well, let's head in for the night. I'm quite tired, and this alcohol is still in my system.
Wait a minute. You did the whole. Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay.
You did this whole thing drunk?
It kind of explains the Me too, I guess.
I was just a little squibby. It was all right.
Mm-hmm. Where are we going? Are we going back to the... You want to get a room in the tavern with this big bag of gold, or you want to come with me back to the boys? It's up to you.
I might head to the
Maybe
tavern for the
Captain.
night.
Sure.
Yes,
Well-
I do plan on checking in with Captain Esso at some point.
You do that. I was supposed to meet up with the lads, like, today, but... alright. So. See you around, man.
Stay safe, friend.
Okay.
And, we'll go their separate ways.
So everyone disperses. Klein, you go to a dumpster.
No, Klein is actually gonna go to... I forgot my NPC's name.
I don't know why I assume that you're going to do what you say, ever. I gotta learn to do that. You going to
No
Dapia?
context note, Klein doesn't go to a dumpster. I'm gonna wonder what the heck I was thinking.
L.
Yeah, Klein is gonna go to Dapia's place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you head on over there. The night is not... You're not super far into the night. As you walk out into the street, you kind of look up ahead and you can see that the streets are illuminated by the various kind of magical street lights that they have here that kind of have a permanent flame in them. But above that, the night sky, the stars that shine down. The skyline of this world has not one but two moons. One of them is far bigger than the other one, at least in terms of your perspective from where you are. And also, kind of engrossing maybe a quarter of the sky, there is a large spherical, like greenish blue planet that is ever present there. You walk through the streets. Like I say, it's not super late at night. It's maybe midnight at latest. So it's quiet, but there are the occasional people around, and you know the place, so you navigate around it fairly easily to get to Dapia.
Yeah. Like a quiet knock on the door.
Let me see. Yeah, you give a quiet knock on the door and you wait for a good 45 seconds and you don't hear anything from inside.
Boom, 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 boom.
You heavily bang on the door. And you hear like a faint bit of commotion, mostly from the kid's room. As the kid like kind of half starts crying at the loud noise that just appeared at the bottom of the house. People start getting up, and it takes maybe 20 seconds before the door opens, like to the point of where the chain lock is taut. And you see Daffy's eyes kind of squinting through at you, and she says, "What the fuck?"
I am still covered in ash and some blood, and my hair is probably a little matted, and I have blood streaks on my arm from pulling my arm out of the bear trap, and Clyde just goes, "What's it knocked?"
Fucking hell. And she closes the door and unlocks the lock and just opens it. Come on then.
Okay. I'm in. Before, like, when she's in the middle of asking what's happening, Klein just pulls the bag of like 50 gold out and sets it on the counter.
Well, that's something. Just go over to the basin over there and just start washing all the blood off of you.
Oh, presto! Just clean myself real quick.
Or do that. That's fine. And you, as you've done that, and you look back to her, the gold is already gone. So are you looking for like a place to sleep, or just a chit chat,
Klein
or
needs help with a few things.
and this couldn't wait until the morning?
Good. Klein just likes the night.
I'm really quite tempted to put you back out there if you like the night so much and go back to bed.
Can you make Klein like a proper schoolboy tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
And then can you make Klein a bomb?
I can definitely do that. Is there anything else?
I actually need one of those gold back because unfortunately Klein does need shoes for this.
Make a persuasion check.
I rolled 11 for 19.
But no, okay. She kind of just sighs and says, if I give you this gold, come back tomorrow, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just reaches into the bag and just tosses you a gold. Lock the door on your way out, please.
Okay. Have a good night.
She just didn't even answer you. She's just walking up the stairs. Back to do her thing.
Now I go to my dumpster.
Now you go to your dumpster. Perfect. Okay, Jump. Are you doing anything tonight?
I just kind of assume in general that I can hunt down Felder as easily as I generally know the routine to follow.
Sure, yeah. They're generally active in the early hours of nighttime anyway. And you two have some like kind of communication line there, so you can find them fairly easy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go and hunt down Felder.
Do you request a meeting spot of your choice, or do you want to go to one of theirs?
I'm gonna request one of mine.
Okay. Which meeting spot would you like?
That's a good question. I don't know much about. I do. Jump knows way more about the city than I do.
Yeah, like what kind of place do you want to go to?
Generally high up. I feel like Jump in general just likes those higher points of vantage to where he can kind of keep an eye on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I would dare even say that the clock tower is probably his, like one of his in a way, just because it's so easy for him to get there and then keep an eye on a majority of the city.
Yeah. Sure, it's simple enough for you to do. You met there earlier today. So you go up there and you wait, and it takes maybe 30 or 40 minutes before you don't hear them approach. You just hear like someone clearing their throat behind you, and they are sitting in that same like corner of the tower, feet crossed and propped up on the side of the wall. There's a faint bit of light as something ignites from the end of their arm and kind of lights up this cigar that they have poking out of their mouth.
Never once have I actually been able to catch you sneaking up on me.
And you never will. So how'd it go?
Good. Definitely not what I was expecting for my first solo job.
You look like shit.
Yeah. Oddly enough, that happened on the way in.
I see. Well, tell me all about it.
What do you know about the steel bands?
It's the biggest bank probably in Siltergart. Iron Bands is its twin, but smaller, less attended to, I suppose. It supplies a lot of the gold throughout the whole country, but not much beyond. Actually, I've been hearing rumors about them recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, I heard that their boss man is getting some help in. Roll a history check for me.
Okay.
Either history or I guess you could do wisdom, depending on what you've heard.
Be the same thing for me, but that's a... Oh, wait, no. Wisdom. I'll take wisdom, because that somehow gets me to a +1. That's right, because history is not wisdom. That's a 18.
18. That's pretty good. You have heard some rumors about the bank, and them getting in help. So, this continent is formed by a number of countries. The one that you're in is called Siltergart, and to the right of it is that open sea, and that is inhabited as its own sort of nation, called the Broken Empire. Mainly so because it's a bunch of broken islands, and there are a bunch of people who were either on the run from their respective countries, or for whatever reason they wound up there, and it's made of it's a nation of randos, outcasts, people who want to do their own thing. If you cross over the Broken Empire, you will reach the next continent, the continent of Parvaray. This continent, at least in this part of the country, has more of a reputation of being kind of more dictatorish. The people in power there are really in power, and the people who aren't are really not in power. They don't have anything. And one of the merchant companies there, sort of the main one that is fairly often divvied out to people, is called the Adamant Dominion. There have been rumors of sightings of ships harboring the Adamant Dominion being brought over to Port Gestra, and the troops going to the bank. So there are rumors that Krem is forming some sort of alliance with them, but with an 18, you aren't really sure why, for what purpose it could be. You just know that you've heard rumors about them being that, and that is bad news, basically.
So the Dominion has rolled up and decided that they want to help out the richest man in the entire city.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Although they ain't never doing anything for free. He's got to be paying them out the wazoo. And if he is, what for? He's not just going to ramp up protection on the bank for nothing. It's got my eye.
Yeah, well, it's got my hands.
So that's your job. You're robbing the bank.
A little more specific than that.
You're robbing...
Krem.
Nice. Okay. That's going to be hard. Who's giving you this particular mission?
Didn't give us his name.
Well, they must be smart then. I guess Krem has a lot of enemies. It's natural when you're a tight ass.
Yeah, a little bit. If I had to guess, him calling in this new area of defense, we'll say, and us going up against him probably means that we're going to be running headfirst into whatever new help he's asking for.
Probably, yeah. You better be prepared for that.
Yeah, that kind of comes to my point. I know it's my job, and at the end of the day, it's going to be my ass on the line. But I could use your help picking up some information. We know of his two right hands. You've got Jorith and Fitterin, Fentanyl. And they might be the closest connection, but I've never even heard of a vulnerability to that entire building. Not even the first floor.
It's because they say there isn't one. Are you sure you want to do this? Let's just say that you get in, and you have to face down whatever the fuck security measures he has in there. You're gonna go all the way through, rob specifically him, then you gotta find a way out without getting killed again, and then and I'm gonna be honest here, you're gonna have to find your way out of the city. You're gonna be wanted forever.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. That's money that only he really understands.
Oh, I know about the money. That's a shit ton of money. I ain't lying about the money. But if you go in fully disguised, they might not know it's you. But I'm 100% sure he's gonna have some trap or something that's gonna remove illusions and whatever. If they see your face, if they get your general description, whoever they see is gonna be forever looked out for here. Maybe even across Silthergard. You won't be able to go to Trestle. Just, before you take this, you make sure that you think about that. The money would be worth it if you're willing to either live with a target on your back or go somewhere else.
I guess you're right, but I mean, come on, he's owned this city. He's the reason that, and he kind of points down at like his head and looks at some of the vagrants that generally around. He's the reason they exist.
Look, if this is something you want to do, I understand it. I do. Hell, I would like that money. You just got to be sure. There's a reason that no one's successfully done this before. People have tried, but no one's been successful.
Yeah. But those someones have never been us.
I guess so. Look, I'll see what I can find. Is there anything specifically that you want me to look for?
I mean, you can get in and out of anything with zero detection, basically. Weaknesses in guards, weaknesses in structures. I have my way of getting around. I'll try my best to find out more about these two right hands, but, I guess I've always been more of the people person between the two of us.
Ain't that true? All right, I'll see what I can find from the outside. I would suggest trying to find something inside. Get a general idea of what the interior looks like. If you can get down to the vaults, figure out what's going on there, which one's his, and what you need to do to get there, and how to get out, especially with all that money. That's where I would start. But I'll see what I can find about the outside.
All right.
All right.
For the record, we pull this off. You've helped me out enough. Split 50-50? Like old times?
You're damn fucking right, we will. So, we will leave the two of you right there. Ulfgar, are you doing anything before you go to bed, or are you just going to bed?
Ulfgar is actually going to go to the docks.
Okay.
And he's going to find just an empty space. And he's going to... he'll take his greaves off and kind of just put his feet into the water. And as he does so, he starts to sing.
Hoist the sails high, let the wind blow free. We're the ruby rulers, rulers of the sea. With swords in hand and courage to save, we'll sail these waters bold and brave.
And as he does this, he, his eyes start to well up a little bit as he's gazing off into the distance, into the pitch black of water at this point. And he says,
Navandra, I need some guidance. You shaved me so that I may better myself. But what I'm about to do doesn't feel so good. How can I make this right?
Okay. Roll a charisma check for me. Just roll d20, add your charisma modifier.
not great. 5.
A 5. You attempt to reach out to the tide changer. Kind of in this moment of quiet and... It's not loneliness, but it is being alone. It's a comfortable space for you, standing above the waves. And in that calm, you attempt to find some communication or connection with the deity that you serve. There is no response to what you're asking. That doesn't mean that they didn't hear, but nothing's being said back right now.
And as Ulfgar kind of sits in the silence, he just thinks of his crew for a moment. And then he's going to look around the port to see if, I don't know the name of the ship, but if Captain Essoform has returned yet. Oh, Moontide's Wake?
Sure, yeah. You look around for the Moontide's Wake. The Moontide's Wake didn't actually leave yet. It was going to leave in a couple days. It's kind of just like... It had just returned from one of its other jobs. And they were in the process of kind of unloading everything and taking it off. So it is still where it was. Once they finish wrapping up their business here, they'll leave again. And go off to do another run. But for now, it's kind of just moored in its normal spot.
Gotcha. Okay. Then he'll kind of walk somewhat near it, just kind of glancing over to see if anybody's still there.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Man, good rolls. 8.
8. You don't see anyone. You don't hear anyone.
Well, perhaps I'll check in the morning.
And he'll head back to his normal tavern, where he's a normal customer at. Yeah.
Yeah, so you go and do your thing for the rest of the night. Akan, it's your turn.
All right. So Akana's going to head back to his hideout
Mm-hmm.
where all the boys hang out. And on the way, he's going to pull 20 gold pieces out of that bag and just put them in like another pocket on his coat.
Sure. You go ahead and do that. Easy enough. And then head back to your hideout. Describe to me roughly what the hideout is or looks like.
Okay. So it's not like mega secretive like the new hideout that we have just found tonight. It's sort of just like a little pocket in some alleyway of kind of a lower class neighborhood in Port Gestra. Not hidden per se, but kind of inconspicuous, right? Like these are a dime a dozen. Like you would see people hanging out in places like this all the time, and this one just happens to be his.
Yeah, so in this alleyway, how many of your group are normally here at this time?
Could be like no one, could be all of them. People kind of just come and go, but people cut. They all roads lead back here for people in the gang.
So as you walk up, it's for sure makeshift, and it's not in the open, but there are like certain clusters of buildings that have space in between them that people can sort of camp out in for a little bit before moving on to the next place, and that's basically what's happened here. There is a small section in the middle for where there is a fire pit that is like very lightly burning. And surrounded on the outside are like little like made up things like sleeping rolls, like small boxes of possessions that don't hold anything of significant value, but maybe a personal artifact or two. You see a hammock that is kind of like haphazardly strewn up with a body in it. You aren't sure who's in it right now, but it's done so in a way that if someone were to hit hard enough on the ropes, it would probably come down. Not that this stuff was put up in a hurry, but it's,
very makeshift.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys would stay here for that long at a time before skipping on over to the next one. And you'd revisit certain places a couple times, but the intention of this is to be temporary.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Akan's gonna just kind of walk right in and look around and see if there's any of his people around here, or if he is all alone.
Okay, roll a perception check for me.
That's a 9 total.
Okay, a 9. You just see that person in the hammock. No one else is here around right now.
Can I try to see if I can tell who's in the hammock? Like if I know that person or not?
Yeah, you kind of peek over. Describe to me what your buddy looks like. Your buddy Bud.
My buddy Bud.
Yep.
Who we totally have talked about the name of.
I don't remember if I sent you the name or not, but I will tell you the name after after you describe him.
Okay, I mean, did you pick a race?
I'm leaving it to you. Yeah, you describe him and I'll add on.
Okay, cool. Yeah. This is kind of a squirrely human man, kind of below average height, very wiry. He's sort of ruddy. He's got this dirty red hair, brown eyes, and like no one would need to look twice to know that this is not a person of stature in this city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did name him. His name is Davin. So Davvin. And I will send you all of their names after this session is done, just as a... I don't remember if I did it before or not. I know I sent you some of them. I don't remember if I did all of them, so I'll send you the whole list later. But yeah, it looks like he's the only one in here right now, and he is currently, like... on his side in the hammock. You see one arm is kind of poking out the side, and the other one is, like, straight up. And, like, a weird, like, one leg hanging over the side. Looks like he could tip over at any point. He rolls in his sleep, and also snores a little bit. So this is not uncommon for him to be found in some weird position. And oftentimes when you guys wake up in the morning, he will complain about having a dead arm, or pins and needles all the way down his legs, or a pain in the back of his neck. And yet nothing ever seems to be done about it. He just kind of exists, doing his thing. But he is on his side, just kind of gently snoring away.
I'm going to walk up to the hammock and tip it over so that he falls out of it.
Okay. You walk up to the hammock and you put your hand on it. Roll a stealth check.
Great rolls tonight, boys. That's a natural 3 for a total of 8.
Yeah, you you very slowly walk up to the hammock, not noticing on the ground underneath of you. Someone left some, like, kind of half-eaten sandwich or something. It's hard to tell because you put your foot immediately on it and just kind of gently slip forward. And in your attempt at stopping yourself from falling, your arms flail wide, and you do grab the side of the hammock on your way down. The problem is that you hit the ground first, and then your arm goes, and then you feel a body right on top of you instead of the cold, hard concrete underneath. You hear this kind of ow from above you.
Hey, Davin.
What the fuck did you do that for?
Oh, I just thought it was time to take our relationship to the next level. Here. And Akana's going to, like, try to, like, wrestle his arm around to his pocket and pull out those 20 gold pieces. Got this for you.
The way that you're saying it is making it sound kind of creepy. I'm not going to lie. I respect you a lot and I like you, but I don't know if I like you in that way. I will take the 20 gold, but I will not be doing what I think you're inferring me to do. And you see, like, these fingers just appear and just, like, take the gold and then retract into the limmy, langy mess that is the two of you.
Yeah, Akana's just going to wait until he gets up. He's just going to...
Yeah, he does. He's a young guy, so he kind of, like, bounces up and is, like, one hand on his eye, like, rubbing it really hard, and the other one, like, holds up to stretch, and you kind of hear as he does, his back goes all the way up. Big yawn comes out of him.
Davin, you were basically giving the circus freaks a run for their money there, the way you were sleeping just now.
It's actually a defense mechanism if you think about it, because anytime someone approaches me, I will know, because I'll feel them coming, you know what I mean?
No, I just slipped on a piece of half-eaten food. I don't think that was you. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, well, that is also true. So where the fuck have you been all day?
Well, first off, let me tell you about how I got this gold. Turns out that, you know how we always talk about how you can't really get a single copper piece out of those misers up near the steel bands, right?
Yeah.
Well, turns out if you busk for their spouses are a lot looser with their change.
Make a deception check.
Yep. Okay. That's a natural 17 for a total of 25.
Yeah, he kind of was like, okay. So you're just targeting the married folk then, basically. You're not just doing the solos.
Yeah, works out.
And this got you excess of 20 gold.
Yeah. Their spouses are rich, Dad.
Bullshit. There's no way.
Is he bluffing? Or
No,
is he
you
genuinely
get the
just
sense that he doesn't really understand. Not that he doesn't know for sure that you're lying. It's not that. He's just skeptical.
Alright, Davin, I had some help. I met this not unattractive Eladrin down in the docks, and we played duets.
Oh
And she kind of ran
shit!
circles around me.
Wait, no, I heard about that. I heard about her. Yeah, she's been.
What?
Well, she was in the docks this morning, and then she went to Oh fuck, that fancy schmancy place where the rich people stay. Which that makes sense actually a lot if she's a performer, and she was ripping off the rich folk.
Yeah? Yeah?
I heard
Kind of
about
took a couple
her.
pointers from her, you know?
Wow,
Might be good to do in the future.
good for you. Wow, I heard pretty good things about her.
I'm not going to ask what you heard. I want to get right to the point here, Davin. Steel bands of creme.
I'm aware of it.
But I'm not joking.
Shut the fuck up.
Davin, you want to sleep on your side in a hammock and get pins and needles for the rest of your life? Or do you want to live it up?
How and he kind of leans in as he's talking. How reputable is this?
Not at all, Davin. It's a criminal act.
Yeah, but I'm not
You are
talking.
familiar.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like reputable. I'm talking about us reputable. Like how.
Okay, yeah. Not really at all. I mean, would I kind of know about this tiefling guy at all? Is there like any lore about this person?
Roll
Or-
a history check with disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, the answer is no. It's a total of 5.
Yeah, you got no clue.
Honestly, not at all. It's very anonymous, but you would not believe the shit I had to do just to get the idea to do this. And Ulfgar's in on it too.
Oh, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you don't know anything about who is giving you this mission, and you know it's you and Ulfgar, and that's it, right? Or do you have more people?
And a small tiefling teenage boy and another Ergonasi, but like an Ergonasi, not like me.
Okay, so it's you two, and a teenager, and a rando, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know this sounds really bad, right? Like this is like the most secure place that I can think of outside of like major prisons and shit.
How long have we been doing petty gigs? Like since we were kids, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how long do you want to do this shit, man?
I don't want to do this shit at all, but I don't want to fucking go to jail over attempted robbery of a really important place, and it probably will end in jail. Like, is there like anything that you can say that's gonna convince me of here?
To rob it with me. I'm not asking you to rob it with me. I just want your help.
Well, what do you need?
Help finding things out or planning. I don't know, just keep your ear to the ground. Like, I'll let you know more when I reconvene with those guys. Like, because like once It'll be more money than I know what to do with, and we could leave Port Jestra. Could leave Siltergard if you want. Like, I don't want to be here anymore, dude. It's too much.
Roll a persuasion check.
25.
It's a pretty good persuasion check. All right.
I have a plus 11.
You know what I'm going to do? Is what I'm going to do. And it's really a favor for you if you think about it. Tell me about this guy who told you to do this. And that's who I'll look up first. See if it's genuine.
Okay. But if you look this guy up, make sure that he doesn't find out that you're looking him up. Because I think this man does not want to be known about.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Sure, yeah. I do all my best work.
He's covering his ass.
Being secret.
Alright, cool. Oh, you should actually get Heskin in on it, too, because he knows how to get into places where a lot of people can't. You know Heskin, right?
Yes, I know
Dragonborn
Heskin.
kid.
He follows you around like a lost puppy. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he's a lot more resourceful than you give him credit for. But anyway, yeah, so on Torm Street, there is a house. Well, it's like a couple doors down from this house that seems to be popping every night. Honestly, I should go busk there. But yeah, it's this house that's kind of like booby-trapped and stuff, and like, well, that's kind of why I trust these other guys. We got through those booby traps together. This is like some purple tiefling guy, old, wheelchair bound. Maybe best days are behind him kind of vibe, and he's got this minotaur bodyguard that we had to get past a few times.
Okay.
And that's kind of all I know. He seems to have a personal grudge against Krem, if that means anything.
Okay, I'll see what I can find then.
You're the best, Davin.
Yeah, I am aware.
Gotta see about getting you a real bed, though.
It's supposed to make you taller, so...
Yeah, sure. I mean, I could just get Ulfgar to, like, stretch you, if that's what you really want.
You know what? I'll think about that too. That sounds a little more painful though, so probably not, but I will let you both know. How about that?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, alright. You're going on the floor again,
Right.
and he kind of like rolls over into the hammock.
Yeah, alright. And Akana's gonna settle in for the night.
Okay, so you guys settle in for the night. The next day arises. We are now... if there's anything that people specifically want to do, you are more than welcome to do that, and we'll act that out. But if you would like to just kind of go through basic, like, I want this to happen, then we'll just do a couple rolls and we'll see what you learn, basically. So in terms of planning, who wants to start? Who wants to learn what? Who wants to do whatever activity? Cryo, you're up first.
Hello. Klein, before going back to Dapia's, wants to find out where, because you mentioned earlier that Krem has kids.
Mm-hmm.
Want to find out where they go to school.
Okay, awesome. how do you intend to go about learning this information? Where are you going to start?
First, I'll start asking someone about school.
Okay. Roll a charisma check. You're combining persuasion and most social skills to convey the fact that you are a schoolboy, basically.
24.
24. Yeah. You find this like slightly larger human woman who looks to be like in the mid to late 50s. And you kind of walk up and inquire about where some schools might be, and she's like, "Oh my, you must go to school!" And she kind of points out like some of the, I guess, some of the more common like public schools that are around here, and I'll say there are only 2 of them. And then she also points out like the university that's here in the city, and like really encourages you to go and make something of yourself there.
Klein is like, well, my mother said she was going to go far away and get lots of money and come back and send me to the best school in the city, and so I should find the best school for someone my age so that when she comes back, I'll be ready to go to school.
Yeah, she like takes you by the arm and like walks you over to the school. It's not crazy big. The one that she takes you over. I don't know how to describe it. It's gated. It's gated, so it's nicer. It's normally the general rule of thumb. It's like the gates are currently locked in the like early to mid morning. Because the children that are in there are probably in there. And she explains a little bit about it. It's for roughly how old is Klein?
Klein can appear to be like as young as 13, but they're just some various age in their mid-teens.
Yeah, so it's like secondary school-ish, which I know is different in England, but whatever. It's from like 11 or 12 up to like 16, basically, is the way that the school is described.
Okay. I listen to everything she has to say, and I'm like, thank you so much. I should start learning some things. Actually, you know where like a library is?
A library, you say? Let me pull up my map of Port Chester that I half finished and didn't show you guys.
Woo!
Okay, library. So, the way that the city is laid out, essentially, is... There is... If you're looking at it from a top-down view, the coast kind of creeps along at a diagonal, right? And then where one of the rivers, the right-hand side, or I guess the Eastward River, cuts in, on the other side of that, it begins going down again, but the city like curves off before that incline really, really hits. In the center of the city, there is kind of like a nicer building, which those who live here would know that essentially the elected officials, it's kind of like Parliament, right? The elected officials would go and they would vote on things and enforce change in the city. To the south of that is kind of like where the dock ward is. That's where Torm Street lies in, but it's a much bigger area. And to the west of the dock ward, so to the southwest of the big building, is where the business district is, and that's where the bank is. Important shops, stuff like that. Kind of like Wall Street, right? Inside of that, you get loose directions to where a library might be. Yeah, we'll just say the name of it is the Wider Library of Port Gestra. The thing that you are told though is that it is pay to enter.
How much?
It's 6 silver to enter. It's expensive.
I will pay that.
Okay, so you walk over there, and you pay the 6 silver to enter. And as you go up the steps to get into the high square oak doors, you open it up and you see beyond you, maybe 40 feet wide, 100 feet long, at least that you can see, room with a landing that is halfway up the wall. It's a very tall, arch-domed building. And lining it, all the outsides are lined with books, and they have rows of books that kind of jut inwards towards the main central aisle. Towards the back end of this floor, there is a section that's just tables and chairs, where people go to either study or read alone. And then behind that, they have stairs going upwards to the upper landing. Is there anything that you're looking for specifically in the library?
I am going to look for any history about the city, particularly to do with the bank.
Yeah, awesome. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
12.
12. Okay, so you get a base information about the city. The city was founded in the year 546 SD, which is a couple hundred years ago. It is nicknamed as the Cerulean Garden of Orit. Orit is the continent, Siltergard is the country, Port Gestra is the city. The Cerulean Garden of Orit. What do we know about the city? So the city is split up into wards, you know that. The parliament here basically runs things. There are 2 rivers that come into the city here. There's the Eastward River, which is basically called, people nickname it as the Wide River, because the closer that you get to the outside where it meets the open ocean, the wider it gets. And sitting on that part of the river, there are 3 bridges. There's the one furthest inwards, which is a wide, and that's called the Peasant Bridge, because that's where most of the foot traffic goes through over there. And then they have 2 bridges that kind of run parallel to each other right at the border of where it meets the ocean. The one that's inwards a little bit, that's called the Noble Bridge, and that's because it's mostly used by people who are more wealthy. It doesn't really get much foot traffic in the way of the general public. And it's because it's also higher, it's raised, so that it can look out towards the ocean. And basically the snobs use it to have their little romantic getaways and privacy, and if they don't want to get caught up in the riffraff, that's the bridge they'll use. And the outward bridge is called the Guard Bridge, and that's because that's where the guards sit, essentially. The West River is called the Tail River, or it's nicknamed the Tail River, and that sort of goes. It's more of a dirt walled kind of environment. It kind of runs through more of the outside of the city, and it just kind of goes. And both of them go further into the country. But the interesting thing is, both of these rivers are separate, but they are connected by a canal, and the canal was man-made. This canal is turned on and off, and when it's turned on to allow the 2 rivers to connect, then the rivers are known as one river. They're called the River of Returning, because that's what it does. Because the waves come in and they go out, much like the water comes in through one river and out through the next. And in doing so, the 2 rivers become one. It's called the River of Returning. which is a neat little tidbit of information. The bank itself, and you only rolled a 12, so you don't get that much information on this. The bank itself was erected a couple hundred years ago. Before the River of Returning became a thing. Before that man-made canal was put in there. And it was founded by a guy called Alistair Krem. Started off small and started off as a bank of the people. And over time, it got bigger and bigger. The first owner was seemingly well liked by people. He was pretty respected, and under his influence, the bank did okay. It did pretty well. It started to get a little bigger, and then when he got old, he passed it down to his son. And these are dwarves, so they live a while, right? Alistair Krem was a dwarf. He passed down to his son, whose name was Emeritus Krem. And Emeritus really took it to business, and it was under him that the bank really became more corporate and wealthy, and started to have a little bit of a monopoly on the people of Port Gestra. And it was later in his life that he sought to build a sister bank in Trestle, which he may have had a hand in, but that was really mostly his son's doing. And his son is Osidius Krem. That's the one who currently owns the bank. So it's been around for a while. You are not exactly sure of the total amount of wealth that it has. But you are aware, and reading through, there have been multiple attempts to rob the bank. I'm talking tens on tens on tens of attempts. And none of them have been successful past, getting to the vaults. And that's about it. They don't get much further than that.
Any details on how they got caught?
Mostly through guards. The bank has its own set of guards. But the business does work somewhat in tandem with the Aegis Guard, who are the policing force in the city. So there's they're not I wouldn't say that they're friends, but they do have a base allyship of oh hey, if someone tries to rob the bank, then they're both of our enemies.
Got it.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you're looking for in this textbook?
I want to find one book unrelated to the bank. On secondary school level economics.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
13. I have no modifier, so it's just whatever I roll.
Yeah, you go forward to the section with the economics books in them, and you find a few, and none of them are labeled at secondary school level. They're just kind of all labeled in various states of economics. So you kind of just pull a few off, and then attempt flipping through them to see if you can learn kind of just anything about what you're trying to discover. Roll an intelligence check.
Oh, sure.
To see how much you retain.
I also have a 0 to this, so 11.
You get the gist, but you're struggling to retain the specifics of what is being written about in these books.
I'll read until the point that Klein is like, this is too complicated for me. It's perfect, and I take that book, and I want to check it out.
Yeah, so you check that out. We'll say it's included in the entry fee that you get to check out one book, and so you take that out.
And then I go to Dapia's to get my little makeover.
Yeah, so you go to Dapia's, and we'll leave you there. Anyone else want to do anything today?
I mean, I said I was going to go and scope out the inside, see if I can maybe meet one of the 2 handlers, is what I have them written down as. But mostly looking for any spots that I would identify as an inside gap.
Okay, so you walk up. Did you walk up to the front door of the bank? Or are you just trying to enter it as well?
I'm basically I'm going in inconspicuous. Like I'm walking. I assume it's a big bank given the amount of money that's in it.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
So wandering eyes that can be feigned as awe, I feel like aren't too.
So you walk up to the bank,
Mhm.
and the first thing that you notice, so the bank is like a long rectangular building, basically, but towards the back end, maybe like 3/4 in, it does kind of come outwards in section to kind of make, if you're looking at it from top down, kind of make the shape of a cross or a lowercase t. And as you walk up to the front door, which is at the butt of this T, you note that there are currently 2 guards standing outside the front doors. The front doors are like these big, tall, like 12, 15 feet tall, arched metal doors. And the doors are open right now. You can see inside. And as you kind of walk up the steps to go through it, you feel heavily scrutinized by the eyes of these guards. They just take a really good look at you as you walk in. But you go in anyway. And as you walk in, it's beautiful polished white marble floors with these marble columns that kind of hold up the roof. In front of you, you see several tables, or I guess counters would be a little bit more effective of a word, where people are getting seen to about inquiring about their own vaults or setting up a saving plan or doing whatever banks do. The tellers of this bank are all sorts. They are everywhere. Different shapes, sizes, races, kind of anything. And there is a small queue ahead of you that leads up to a central counter towards the middle section of this room, in which there is a person up top, this like small kind of wiry hobgoblin person with kind of like a braid up top that falls down off the back of the hair off the head and kind of splits into 2 like I guess strings that come down and fall over the collarbones of this kind of like faded late 60s older redskin, really heavy hooked nose, and they basically talk down to the person in front of them and tell them what to do, where to go. You notice towards the either side of this room, kind of where that side of the T would come out, there are staircases that go up, and just beyond that there are staircases where there are these like kind of like diagonal corners like you saw in the house that you were just in, and there are staircases that go down there, and towards the very, very back of the room there is a big metal door that you assume it probably leads to the vaults underground. The other thing that you notice as you come in here is speckled around the outside, or the outside, but the outer walls of this bank, figures clad in gold armor. Now the Aegis Guard wears regular metal armor with like gold trim, gold inlay. This armor is pure gold. It looks like it's made of a gold metal. Like heavy, like swooshing cloaks and fabrics that fall over the shoulders and back of these figures. They wield kind of more decorated, inlaid, intricate weapons. Not just swords, but all kinds. It's more of a personal preference type of deal than it would be in more of a militarized guard formation. You don't recognize these figures by uniform or identification, but based on the rumors that you've heard, one would infer that this is the Adamant Dominion. standing guard inside this room.
Okay.
A lot of information that I just threw at you, but go with it.
Yeah, I'm writing down a shit ton. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. Cool. So yeah, I have to assume that the person in the middle, based on the fact that they seem to be shouting orders and stuff like that, that is Fidoran.
You didn't get a race or a physical description of Fidoran.
Yeah.
So it could be. It seems that they're interacting with customers, though. I'll say that. Like it's a line of customers that go up to them, and not workers.
Yeah, I'll queue up with that, and specifically just to talk to that person, and feign as though I want my own vault.
Okay, yeah. So you wait in line about 20 minutes as it slowly like goes up. Eventually, your turn arises, and like this hooked nose peers over the counter down at you. It's not so much that this person is angry at your appearance, more so that you gather they've probably just been doing this job for a long time and just hate it. They just are tired of working. They don't want to be here. The voice just kind of creeps out slowly. He's like, "Yes."
I'd like to look into potentially opening a vault.
Okay. I'll get someone to come and see you. Just wait here.
And
Thank you.
The head kind of recedes for a second, and you hear them scribbling something on a piece of paper, and a tap. And you watch as, from above the counter, this folded paper airplane just rises up high and kind of floats there for a second, and then soars off kind of around your head and then back towards one of the rooms that is down the staircases on the corner. It disappears in there, and then after 40 seconds you see kind of this older human man, really small glasses that perch on the end of his nose, walk out of the staircase and up into the room, clutching a small folder of parchment. He kind of has hair that is graying but has retained most of its color. The age on his face is more of that of someone who has had actually probably a happier life. His wrinkle lines show more of a laughter formation on his face than one of frustration. He walks with a stride in his step. He's probably early 60s, but he looks younger. Kind of like these nice shoes with socks that are pulled up really high up the shins. You know what I mean? Like one of those guys with trousers that are a little bit too small for him. Kind of bumps up to you and says, "So I hear you're looking for a bank."
Yeah, I'd love to deposit some things that I consider quite valuable to myself, and then obviously, keep a little bit of money safe and sound.
Absolutely. I assure you, this is the place for you to be. Come, let's go take a seat.
And he kind of walks you over to one of the smaller counters on the side, where he sits up on top and you kind of sit just like over his perch. And he starts running through some like basic vault details, and it's nothing about like specifically like security options or how the vaults are laid out, but he does basically say you can get a vault and it will have your own personal passcode on it. That'll be recorded and kept somewhere secret, just in case you forget it. But he doesn't go into the express details of security or anything like that. He just kind of goes over the basic details of how the vault functions.
Are we able to access our own vault, or is it something to where I hand the stuff to you and then somebody takes it?
You are able to access your own vault. To do so, you'd have to go in escorted. But I would be happy to show you where we keep them and kind of give you a base tour of what you would be looking at, if that's something that you'd prefer.
That'd be fantastic.
Wonderful. He kind of stands up and goes around the corner and walks with you towards the end of the room where that big metal door is. As part of this this process, your name is required.
Yeah. I will give him simply Tyr. T-I-R.
Okay. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Tyr. My name is Adain. And come right this way. And he walks you over to the end of the door. You see again 2 regular bank guards who are just kind of like your base silver metal soldiers, and then flanking them are these 2 like buff gold clad soldiers who it's an interesting comparison to make, because the bank guards are straight up really like heavily paying attention on their job and doing what they're supposed to, but these guys clad in gold, you see one of them is kind of just leaning back on the wall, arms folded, just watching you, not breaking eye contact and being very overt about it. Normally you'd expect some discrepancy in these places, but these guys just don't have it. Adain wanders down the guards and gets them to open the doors. And walking down, there is a heavy stone staircase to the point where you get to the floor and you look, and you're basically in a corridor. The corridor goes horizontally around you, and it curves off at the end, almost like you're in a C shape or a ring. In front of you, on the front wall, there is like a heavy door with a big like cylindrical handle with poles coming out of it. Your classic like standard big metal vaults, and it's like shoulder to shoulder with another one, to another one, to another one, to another one, to another one, and it goes on and on and on and on and on to the point where you can see between like the furthest leftmost point of your vision, the furthest rightmost vision, you could probably see 40 or 50 vaults just in front of you, and you turn around and there are more lining the back wall as well.
Jump kind of whistles and he's just like, how many vaults are there here?
Oh, there's a lot. I think the grand total right now is 325.
That must have taken forever to build.
It's quite the spectacle. Yeah, it's very impressive. He walks up to the in between the 2 guards that are posted opposite the staircase, and you see in between them there is this like podium, and on top of the podium there is another like ring diagram, and you watch as he puts his hand on top of the ring and then moves it in a motion, and in front of you all of the vaults just spin, almost like they're on a rail system. They go and they go and they go and they go until you get to vault number 218. As it appears in front of you, it kind of is directly ahead, and he stops the controls. He walks up and begins inputting a code.
Can I try to keep note of it?
Roll a perception check.
24.
24. Yeah. You do get the code. The code is 6492. And it's one of those like weird, like you have to hold on the handle and go, and it spins, and he stops it, and then he goes backwards and he spins and stops it. As he inputs the code, he pulls on the bars, and it very slowly. This is like a slightly older guy. Begins slowly opening. You look inside, and this vault is empty. It's maybe 10 feet by 10 feet, maybe 15 feet by 50 feet, somewhere in that region. The door and the walls itself, maybe 6 to 10 inches thick. They take their security pretty seriously. He goes on to say, so this is just the empty kind of model that we have. You can put in shelves, cabinets, things like that to really store your personal belongings at a slightly at a price. But we can do that for you, and a lot of people take up that option. It's really a good deal if you think about it. But if not, you're more than welcome to go out and find your own things, and we'll take them in, and we have to inspect them for, just in case there's any business going on with them. But we can put them into the vault, and you can have that in there to store your own stuff as well. And if there are any questions, just let me know.
Some of the items I'd like to store would be magical. Would it just so happen? Are those allowed? I understand that sometimes magic can be seen faux pas in.
No, it's absolutely allowed. We just have to inspect those items personally. So we go through a 3-man system, and each person will identify the item, note all of its uses, and then we have to record each of those in our own sort of dangerous artifact log that we have. That log is secret to no customers are allowed to access it at all. It's purely for us, and it's kept in one of our higher-ups' offices. So not even us tellers really get to know it until we have to go into the vaults ourselves, and then we only get the items in that specific vault. So privacy is of great importance. We just have to be aware of safety above that.
Okay. I mean, I gotta say, I'm impressed.
Well, it can be yours today. We do charge a small fee of 250 gold up front, and then we'll put 100 gold in your vault as a sign-on bonus. But you're not able to access that until after 30 days of having the money in there. Just as a precaution, we've had people come in and pay for a vault and then take the money out of it and then demand a refund for their vault, saying that it was stolen by someone else. It never has been. The Steel Bands of Krem has never been successfully broken into or stolen from. So, but we have to be aware of these, certain legalities that we're aware of. So, it's 250 gold to purchase the vault, but you'll get 100 of that back after 30 days.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, wonderful. Let's go and we'll sign you up then. And so he goes out back to that room, and you begin filing out paperwork. So it'll go under the name tier. He asks you for an address as well. So my question to you is, do you have a central location that you call home? If not, you have the address of Torm Street as well.
No, I would imagine that I have a place to stay. I mean, after a few successful jobs, I at least have some amount of money.
Yep.
But I will name. But based on how I live, I doubt anybody else can afford a thing there. So I'll actually name 2 doors down.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So you do so, and he takes that address, and that's the address that they will use if they need to contact you. He takes down, all the information needed, and at the end of it, he offers for you to personalize your own key, your own entry key code.
Okay. In that case, we'll do 0305.
Okay, so you mark that down, and he also marks that down for record keeping. The transaction basically concludes, and he says, "So you're free to put whatever you want in whenever you do so. We just need to log what goes in, and if it's magical, then that'll be probably a day or two of processing time before that ends up going into the vault. If we can't take it, then we'll write you a letter and get you to come in, and you'll have to take it back. But if there's any gold or other personal possessions that you wish to put in, you can do so anytime from now."
Awesome. Thank you so much. Equa, when I use my rifle in the way that we have planned,
Yep.
does the bullet bleed any sort of magic when that happens?
Well, the bullet stays, like the bullet remains.
Yeah. But if I were to shoot something and put the bullet to the jump, to put the bullet in something, put the anchor to something, would I happen to know if it registers as magic or if it just serves as a catalyst for the gun?
You would probably you probably know that the bullet itself, as an extension of the gun, as a link to it, is magical. Yeah.
Okay.
You are unsure if it will be detected by them. But yeah, it's magical. I would say that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I will finish my business up here then. Again, just kind of in the moments of talking, and then afterward, I'll ask him if I'm allowed to wander a little bit, check out all the things that exist here. Obviously, it's the vault, but there's a whole question what the upstairs area is, if there's anything interesting in such a large building.
He basically just answers all of your questions. So down the stairs. Actually, you know what? Roll a persuasion check.
Sure. 16.
16. Yeah, he mutters something about down the stairs there being offices, and the break in the guard room, which he mutters about the room to the back left. That's the room that he came out of when he came to see you. So that's probably where both the bankers and the guards will change shifts and hang out on their lunches and breaks. And he mentions that up the stairs is where the big bosses reside.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a notification that I did not think would come through right now. My Steam went off and I was not expecting that.
Fucking Steam.
Yep. Okay, then yeah, I'll finish up the conversation and then kind of get acquainted with the passcode, check it on my own vault, just to ensure that it is functional. And again, as I do, just doing my best to scope the thing, see if that the Dominion seems to be flawless, but I kind of want to see how they're watching people. They can't all be watching me.
You're right. Yeah, they're not all watching you. The total amount of people that are guarding this current room, from the inside, 12. There are 12 people currently guarding the inside of this room. That makes 8. Nope, I'm sorry. That makes Yeah, right. I can't tell the difference in my drawing between squares and circles. Son of a bitch. Yes, I was right. Yep. That makes 8 Adamant Dominion and 4 bank guards. The bank guards hold the front doors and the vault doors. And everything else, so the offices, the guard room, and the 2 staircases that go upstairs are all guarded by the merchant company.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I kind of just want to take a moment to see their patterns, see like how even just one of them seems to flip between people. I'm sure that a lot of it is just like glance, 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 and then lock onto anybody acting strange, which I'm going to try to not look.
Yeah, so roll for me a perception check and either a performance or a stealth check. Your choice.
Okay. That is a 16 on perception and a Jesus Christ. 20. What is 19 plus 9? 28 on stealth.
Yeah, so you're pretty confident that you're blending in right now. As you look around, the bank guards are much in the way of kind of like looking over everyone individually and then moving on and kind of going in a cyclical pattern. The Dominion are... It's not laziness, it's comfort, right? It's confidence in themselves. They are kind of just standing by and surveying the whole scene as it is. Like, they're not looking at the individuals, they're just looking at everything. Which, of course, means that there are times when their attention is not on certain places. But since there are so many of them, it's hard to gauge where those places would be. And there really is no pattern to it. They're kind of just going as they go.
Okay. I think that's as much as I'm really going to be able to pick out without being more conspicuous. So, I think I'll take that information as I will and go from there.
Awesome. So, you now own a vault. Vault 218. And your code is 0305. Awesome. And where are you going next?
In this case, I will probably be going to I'll be going to a clothing shop to pick up some clothes that are completely outside of my own style and fit, and fit mostly, to kind of change shape, if the easiest way to put it. I am proficient in disguise skits, so I am picking up clothes with the intent of not looking like me.
Sure. Yeah. You. What kind of clothes are you trying to disguise yourself as?
I'd say it's kind of twofold. One is to go for a more high class look. I understand that what I wear is mostly street clothes, and the other is mostly made for hiding details of myself and efficiency, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Okay, sure. So popping around a few shops, we'll just give you like you can describe exactly how the clothes work throughout like your own personal preference, but I'll dock you 20 gold.
Okay.
Just for all of that.
Sure.
And that'll take up a good chunk of your day. Akan and Ulfgar, do you guys want to do anything today?
Yeah. Ulfgar is going to visit the docks again and look for Captain Vorm.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's easy enough for you to do. You know where his ship is, and he's not far by it.
Say, Captain Vorm, I was hoping to have a discussion with you.
Okay, did you finally decide to take me up on my offer? Are you going on another run with us?
Well, possibly. This may be a discussion for your quarters, if you mind.
Of course, it must be important. Come. And he walks up the dock onto the gangplank and up onto the ship. And you've been on this ship before. It's not super roomy, but it is somewhat comfortable. You kind of go along the dock, or the deck, into the back where there is like a brief doorway that goes into a small but established captain's quarters. Kind of sits down behind the table.
I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. Captain, I admire you a lot, and I am going to do something. And if you are uncomfortable with helping me, I completely understand. You see, we were given a mission, my friends and I, to break into the vault of Krem. And how would you feel if I were to, after breaking into said vault, join you to Jernrohr?
You see him just kind of like blink, taking in this information.
I know this seems ridiculous, but I believe this is destiny. That I was sent on this mission to redeem from my past, Captain.
I'm confused. You are going to rob the bank?
That's correct.
And you think that doing this will redeem you from your past mistakes?
Yes, Captain. I used to live and be a part of the Ruby Reavers. And through an accident, I thought I was going to die, but was spared by my goddess Avandra. And I would take this gold and give it back to the community.
Okay. Let us pretend here that you will survive this endeavor. What do you need from me?
Well, a few different options. The first one is if you could help me procure a boat for me and my companions to make haste on, that we may leave this place. Or secondly, you house us on your boat, which I understand if you are uncomfortable with, and you help us escape to Jernrohr. We would be sure to pay you handsomely for this.
Roll a persuasion check.
Different die.
It's gonna be tough for you.
Yeah. 11.
11. Yeah, he's kind of just like taking this all in very slowly and cautiously. Okay.
Not cautious
And he
enough.
shoots you in the head. You're dead.
Sorry,
What
kicked me
happened
up.
there?
He... ...
Oh, we robbed the vault.
Oh, great.
Yeah, did you secure the escape boat?
I don't know yet.
We're all just standing outside on the docks.
I'm just standing on the docks with a
bags.
bunch, yeah, just like the canvas bags with the money symbols on them. The sound of guards chasing after us, like, Where's Ulfgar?
I don't really know what to say here. This is a strong change of heart for you. You're asking me to help procure you a ship for you to sail north with after you rob the bank. You are a sailor. When did you become a thief?
I am not a thief. Nor am I a sailor. Once a pirate. And now a man seeking to redeem myself.
How does a pirate redeem himself? By piracy.
Well, again, I am giving these back to the community. And my companion, who hired us to do this, has told me that Osidious Krem is a weasel snake.
Okay. You know, Wolfgar, I like you as a person. You remind me a little bit of myself. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have dealt in piracy myself. It was a dark time for me. And I did things that I regret to this day. This is a lot for you to ask of me. You want to go back to these times. If you do this, you may, hurt this weasel snake that you were talking about, but who else is going to be hurt? You know? There are people who use this bank to have their money for their
The amount
houses.
of money that he has. I have a hard time believing that many others would be hurt.
I am worried that if you are successful in robbing this person, you are robbing the people of Port Jestra.
You truly believe that he is giving back to these people, that he is not withholding more money?
No, I don't believe that he isn't withholding money. I don't know much about this man. I'm spending most of my time out at sea. I don't spend as much time in the city as I probably should. But from what I hear of him, he's greedy. He's a businessman. And they are mostly focused on one thing, which is money. So no, I don't think he's perfect, but I don't care about him. And it's not that I truly care about the people here, but is this the right thing for them? That is what I'm concerned about. It is noble, yes, that you are trying to do this not for yourself, but for the betterment of everyone else, but is it going to better them?
Are there like a slums in Port Jestra?
There's definitely like less well-off neighborhoods, yeah.
Captain, have you been to the slums of Port Jestra?
I don't spend much time in the city. I stay close to the water.
These people need help. Khan himself has been only set up for failure his entire life. And if you dabbled in former piracy, then you understand what it can be like for these people, scraping tooth and nail to get by. And I have lived that life myself. I only wish to help these people. To give back.
Make another persuasion check. This one can be at advantage. Because it's something that you are invigorated by.
12.
12.
Yep.
I am torn off guard. I don't know what to do here. I respect you as a person, and I know that you have a good heart. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Realistically, I should be reporting this. But I don't want to do that. I require some time. This is a hard pill to swallow.
I understand, Captain, and I apologize for putting you in a tough spot.
Meet me back here this evening. I will have made my decision.
Thank you, Captain.
And he'll stand up and go for a handshake and then head out on his way.
Yeah. The big beefy man arm handshake is done. And as you lock hands, he like holds your eye contact for a second there. And for a moment there, you swear that he's trying to like look into your soul and see if it's really good for a moment. And then you just turn and go about your day. Is there anything else that you want to do today, Olfgar?
He would just go to find a con at this point.
Yeah, I can. What you up to?
Okay, first, when I woke up, was anyone else there? Was Davin still there or not?
No, Davin was not there, but sleeping in their own bedroll is Rovis. I believe I told you about Rovis, right? Rovis is the leader.
Okay, it's the leader. You didn't tell me much, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I know there's a leader.
Yeah, so Rovis is just kind of lying there on their side. Don't know when they came in. Probably Rovis has a tendency to come in late at night, so they could be asleep for a while.
Okay. So he's asleep.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, yeah, Akan's gonna leave.
Okay, sure. Yeah. You just
Akan is gonna go look for Heskin. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, yeah. Yeah, you leave. You leave quietly and peacefully. And you go and search for Heskin.
Mm-hmm.
Heskin is never hard to find. All you have to do is follow the sounds of laughter and general mischief. And eventually you'll find him. Go ahead and roll a perception or investigation check for me.
Yeah, not great.
12. So it takes you like 40 to 50 minutes of just walking around the city before you eventually come across him. Heskin is currently sitting on top of an apple cart that is full, mostly, of apples that are probably about to go on sale. They are currently in the process of being kind of like shifted in front of a section of buildings to the point where you could like purchase them on the street. And while the guy is getting more stuff or is doing whatever, Heskin is just kind of sitting on top of the apple cart. And he's got this like long wooden stick, and he's holding it in the air and saying, "Yeah!" And you watch as two of the other kids in his gang are like trying to pull up the handles one each and start running around in circles, as if they're kind of like playing chariots.
Okay, so, okay. I'm gonna do the same thing I did the first time. I'm gonna cast message at him, just kind of from around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of tell him where I am.
Yeah, you tell him where you are, and he,
Here.
yeah, he almost immediately like stops, and he's like, "Guys, wait, this way!" And the two in front of him just shift over towards you and start running up, apple cart in tow.
Apple cart in tow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, just gonna ask. Yeah. Do you start up a new apple business, guys? Little apple stand, apple juice.
Yeah, well, maybe I did. Maybe I did.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll buy one. It's 3 gold an apple.
3 gold an apple. Wow.
They're really good.
Are you sure you're in the right part of town to sell this, Husky?
Yeah. He isn't
I got a
at
better
all.
idea. I know. Yeah. So, I told Davin about how you helped me yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a new job. Might be pretty cool. Might end up being a bit of a heroic sort of thing. If you're interested. I know you're real busy with your apple cart.
I'm always in looking for new business. What is it?
Yeah. So, let me ask all of you, and I'm gonna just direct it at the whole gang. Where's the best place to ask for money in this city? Where do you guys go?
An array of answers are shouted at you pretty much all at once. You make out a few different answers. One of the kind of like taller, stockier kids mentions something about the docks. The really like short, tiny halfling talks about one of the parks in the northernmost part of the city. Underneath of the East River, which is in sort of like a middling section of income in this place, and Heskin himself kind of like quietly mentions the business district if you can pick the right people.
All good ideas. Well, one thing that I know Heskin just mentioned is if you can pick the right people, it's the business district, right? Has any of you tried to, I don't know, do it like right outside of the steel bands? Does it ever work?
I have. I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it does. You gotta suck her in, right? And well, you would struggle though, wouldn't you? Because you're all grown up. But me, watch this, and he kind of like bundles up into himself, and then pulls his cloak real tight, and then you watch as he looks up and has these big like bright eyes, it's like the big like puppy dog stare, and he's like, "Please, I'm so hungry."
Hang on, I'm gonna roll something. Oh boy, I rolled a nat 20 for myself. Yeah, okay. Akana's gonna like just take out a gold piece and just toss it right at Heskin.
Yeah, he snatches it out of the air, and instantly that puppy dog stare is gone, and he's smiling, and he's like, "Sucker," pockets the gold.
Nice work.
Thank
Work
you.
right on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys say to doing that today? If you can figure out some operation. Because what I really want from you guys, obviously, you know, the money will be good. And there's more where that came from. But I want you to listen for some of the bank workers. See if they sound happy. And if there are any that don't sound super happy, just Well, let me know. Let me know who they are, what they look like. If you can catch their names, if you could get a silver piece or two from them, that'd be even better.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. We can do that. That's it's pretty easy for us, isn't it, fellas? Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. Where do you want to meet after?
Oh, come over to the hideout tonight.
Okay. All right.
You know. Yeah. You guys, I'll let you in. I'm sure Rovis won't mind too much.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that then.
Sounds good. Remember, it's not just about the money today because I will pay you for this. I need information.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about this time that you hear, "Oi, my apples!" And you see all the kids like look at each other. Okay, we'll meet you there. All right, well, I expect payment. Bye. And they all just scatter, and you are left standing in front of the apple cart, and you see this like early 40s, balding, like 2 strings of hair on top, guy with a beer belly, like storming up to the apple cart.
Morning, sir.
He comes by and like snatches the handles and wheels it round and just begins going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He just kind of stands there for 30 seconds counting, and he's like, "I'm missing 6."
They're not mine.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
21.
Yeah, you see it in his eyes for a moment. He's really thinking about pushing you on why you were talking to them, and then he just it comes to the realization that they're gone. There's nothing he can do, and like the steam coming out of his ears just kind of like evaporates for a second. Still red in the face, he just stomps off in a huff.
Yep. I was just gonna shrug, and he's going to start walking towards the docks. And on his way, he's just going to touch his chest and just go poof. And immediately you see his like leathers underneath his fancy coat become like this really fancy double in the same color as the coat. So now his whole outfit looks just like an upper class outfit.
Hell yeah.
And he makes his way down to the docks to meet Ulfgar.
You make your way down to the docks, and you meet Ulfgar there. Ulfgar is walking along the dock away from the Moontide's Wake.
Yeah. Finger. Ulfgar. Over here. Behind you.
Right. Oh, hello, Akon.
Morning.
Morning, I was just on my way to find you.
Great. I came here to find you. How was your night? Did you talk to the captain and secure us an escape? I presume is what you were. You know.
Yes, I talked to the captain this morning about...
And he'll kind of look around.
procuring some transportation.
Mm.
And he's a little hesitant, to be honest. As he should be.
Yeah.
But he says he'll have an answer for me tonight.
Great. It's gonna be red hot if we manage to, you know, do it. So, and the Khan's gonna now look around. So I got 2 things. One, I just asked Heskin to find out if we can work that fitter room. Remember the guy said that the workers are not the happiest?
Yes.
And another thing is, well, you know Davin, right? Davin's going to look into our benefactor's identity. I made very sure to impress on him that he needed to be discreet. Hopefully he won't davin it up. But, yeah, we'll see.
If he davins it up, I'll knock his head around.
Yeah, as one would. So, what's the plan for now?
Well, for the time being, I was thinking about looking at the prices of boats around here. Just in case the captain isn't willing to help us out. And then perhaps we should find the little lad and laddie. See what they're up to.
Sure. I'll come with you if you want to go boat shopping. What do you think? Should we get the medium-sized galleon or the really large-sized galleon? What are we in the market for?
How much money we'll pull together, and depends on what the captain says.
Sure.
So you guys want to look at
one boat shopping?
Buying a boat? I'll just say flat out, boats way out of your price range.
Yeah.
They're probably Cryo. You could probably attest to this. It's probably what, a couple thousand gold for a boat, for a decent sized ship. Yeah.
They could probably get like a boat with with oars for the amount that we have collectively. A ship, we're looking at like 5,000 gold minimum.
Yeah. So your efforts
Find a
turn
cheap
up
one,
naught.
and then once we rob the vault, we give them the money as we're running past them. We're just like, here.
Well, looks like we can afford a piece of plywood and blankets, which won't get us very far.
Yeah. I don't know if after we do it, we're going to have enough time to do the purchase process and get out of here before we're caught. So,
Can I make a recommendation above the table?
Sure can.
They might not be able to pay for a whole boat, but if they find one cheap enough, they might be able to put a down payment and get the process done, so then we can just give them the rest of the gold and leave when the time is right.
I feel like a down payment is going to be more. You guys have 700 gold collectively, right? Between the two of you. So I feel like a down payment is probably going to be a little bit more than that. But it is a good shout. It's possible that might be pursuable if you had a little bit more money.
I'm going to decide if that even occurs to me at all. Nope.
Fair enough. I will return to
But
being
we
the
will
June
talk
man.
about it when we meet Klein, for sure.
Klein will not have that idea. That was a cryo idea. Klein has no idea.
It's a good cryo idea.
Klein is
Maybe
currently
Jump will have that
planning to
idea.
commit domestic terrorism.
Well, this boat idea is a no-go, Wolfgar.
I
Maybe
guess I always-
the other two will have an idea.
I guess I always took our boat for granted.
Yeah. Kind of like I take my gang for granted sometimes. Well, I don't know where they are. And I don't know what to do. So, if you want,
let's check all the dumpsters in Port Gestra.
yeah, every single one.
Okay. So you guys go dumpster diving. Back to Dappy and Klein. Klein, you wanted some bombs and some schoolboy attire.
I try and describe the outfits I saw the kids at that school wearing, the best of my abilities, and I want to try and look like that.
Okay. So, running out to go and get that stuff. I'm gonna say, well, it's school children outfits. That'll probably run you like 5 gold. to match the general description of what that is.
Why am I so altruistic? I'm running so low on money.
In terms of the bombs, you and Dappy have a close relationship.
And I gave her 50 gold last night.
You did give her 50 gold. These are just regular old bombs. Are you inquiring about a specific kind of bomb or just regular bombs, just plain bombs?
Klein would basically be like, it doesn't actually have to destroy anything, it just has to be loud and scary.
So you're inquiring about a firecracker.
A little bit bigger than that, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, she'll for 50 gold, she'll give you 3 of those.
Sick.
She doesn't ask you what they're for. She doesn't care. She just gives you them, and she's like, well, you know how to use these, don't you? So there's nothing really for me to say. Just, don't get caught.
Not plan to. Completely unrelated question. If I were to ask where sort of rich folk around this town live, like, I don't know, business owners and bankers, business banker owners, where would that be?
Well, if I were a business bank owner, I'd probably live near enough to my business bank. So if it's a really like wealthy place, business district, or just north of that, yeah.
All I need. I have to put on your shoes now. Hang on. Really uncomfortable. Put them on.
Scrunch them toes up.
How do you wear these?
You can do your own laces. I know you can.
I know. I mean, how do you do it?
Oh, I
They're
wouldn't
so
know.
uncomfortable.
Dappia is a satyr, so she has hooves.
Looks down at the hose and just. I envy you.
I get that a lot.
Did you know
And
there are
rightfully so.
tieflings like me who get born with hooves? But no. I got stuck with the little piggies.
I did not know that. That's
Ah, yes.
maybe they've got satyr mommies.
Maybe. Winces as he thinks about it for a second, then just. Huh. Oh. Looks at like the fuse lengths on the firecrackers and just like. Equal, about how long would one of these give me?
I'll give you around 6 seconds.
Looks up at her. Can I get a little more of this?
Yeah, that's fine. And she just goes away and like turns around and then like pulls a bit of kind of slick twine, cuts it, and then just ties it around the one firecracker that you have. So it's basically doubled in size.
Looks at it. You're going to hate me for this, but can I get like 2 more of that on that one specifically? I need a little more time.
Yeah. So okay. So you want a total of what 12 seconds, or do you want more than that?
25?
Okay. Gim. She takes it back and takes the little bit of twine off and then just throws it in the corner and then pulls it out the long string and takes 3 times that length and cuts it and then ties it around and then gives it back to you.
Oh. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Well, you gave me 50 gold, so it's not like a...
That's fair.
You're keeping me in business somehow. I don't know how you did that because you don't often pay that much, but that's fine. No questions asked.
I am a good client.
Yeah.
Client.
Yeah, I
It's not a
noticed
good
that.
pun.
Yeah, it's actually a great pun.
Oh. Yay.
Claint.
Okay. Klein is off to do nothing wrong.
Okay, have fun doing nothing wrong, and don't knock on my door at midnight again.
Was it midnight?
Yes.
Oh. Klein had lost track of time. Klein got in a fight with a coat.
Somehow that does not surprise me.
You should have seen what happened to the guy who fought the rug.
You know what? Knock on my door at like 9 o'clock instead, and we'll talk about that.
Okay. Bye-bye, Dapia. Head out.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna go to the... In my schoolwear sort of look with my economic book, I am going to head to the area north of the business district where people may live.
Okay.
And then I am going to sort of start asking around about the Krem residence.
You can start asking where the Krems live.
Mm-hmm. In my cute, innocent schoolboy way. Being like a lost school kid.
Yeah, roll a charisma check for me.
I'm so glad I maxed this stat. I'm so glad I maxed this stat. I rolled a 10, 15.
15. Yeah. So you begin asking around, and you're doing the lost little schoolboy routine, and it's going pretty well. Like you stop a few people, and they don't know where the Krems live. But they seem to be enamored by the performance, and that's really what matters, because eventually you'll find someone. And then, not before long, this like maybe like early 20s woman with like curly blonde hair just walks by, and you stop and ask her about it, and she takes pity on you, and she begins pointing you in the direction of like, she goes, I think they live somewhere in those buildings, and she points to like a block of them that are kind of like apartments, almost like high-rise apartments. But I don't know where. Like, I don't know them personally, so it's kind of hard for me to tell. But I hope you find your mom.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I do too. Have a nice day.
Okay, bye. And you turn around and you start walking to the direction that she was pointing you in, and then all of a sudden, a guard appears right in front of you, noticing the seemingly lost schoolchild. He kind of leans down. And he's like, "All right, mate. What's going on with you? Where are your parents at?"
Guten Tag. My father is dead, and my mother's away on business.
I see. So where are you staying?
Oh, I have a guardian. I stay with her.
And what's her name?
Oh, her name is Melia.
Where would she be at? Is she around here anywhere?
She's at home. I'm running an errand.
Well, I don't really think it's very smart of you to be running an errand alone in the middle of the city, given your current age. So I'll tell you what, why don't I accompany you on this errand, and then afterwards I'll see you safely returned to your guardian. How about that?
Oh, that would be wonderful. I actually have been asking around for the Krem house. I have to bring a book for another student of mine. Not mine, my peer of mine.
Roll a deception check.
Nat 20, let's go.
Oh,
28. 28.
really? Okay. Well, what's the book about?
Holds it up.
It's the economics book.
Yeah.
He like kind of takes a look at it. And he's like, she would love that. Okay, I'll tell you what. I can't let you into the Krem house. It's a special kind of house, and without, you know, working by the guards, there's not much I can do. But I will take you to there, and we will be able to hand it over to Krem's personal guards. How about that? And I'll make sure that she gets it.
That would be great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What was your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Dava.
Sure, no problem, Dava. And he begins walking with you up to their residence, and you do kind of get the general idea of what it is. So he takes you up to these apartment towers, basically, and it's not far off from the bank, but it does sit near to the Western River. It's not far off of that, and it's a high rise, so it's the top apartment that they can find in that tower.
Looks up at it and just.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Where does they get all the money?
From the people.
But they own a bank. You just store money in the bank.
Yeah, but the people pay
Like,
money.
they take people's money.
Well, no, the people pay money to use the services, you know. And then if
pay
they
money to
Well-
leave your money in a place.
well, yeah, there's like a deposit thing, and then also like if you go into debt, then they like seize your assets. It's really it's a vicious system.
They sound like thieves.
He kind of like bites his tongue for a second. No, well, no, they are totally legal.
Avon does not like thieves.
Well, I thought you said that you knew the daughter.
I do, but I did not realize that it's so. This.
Well, okay.
It's like when you are around someone all the time and you think they're one way, and then you go and you see their home and it's completely different than the way that you expected them to be, you know? Like, I thought my uncle was a really cool guy, and then I went to his house one time and it just smelled kind of gross. And I couldn't think of my uncle the same way anymore.
I see. You know, I had a girlfriend like that once. And you guys walk up to the front gate, and you meet the two guards, and they are bank guards. They're the same. So it looks like
a golden armor, everything.
this is actually. Oh no, sorry. Yes, sorry. This is the golden arm ones, which are not the bank guards. These are the Dominion guards. And the guard who you're walking with walks up to them, and you hear them have a conversation, and he mentions you bringing the book, and the Dominion guard just kind of like looks at you and scoffs and says to hand it over, and your friend guard kind of kneels down next to you. He says, "All right, he's going to take the book and give it to the Krems for you." So just hand it over.
Shane.
Yeah, he takes it from you and begins flicking through it. Okay, I'll get it to them.
Thank you. I'll see her at school.
Okay.
Klein stands there kind of awkwardly.
Yeah, he's just kind of standing there, staring back at you. Not moving.
Then turns back to the friendly guard and just like, what do I do now?
We're just gonna go. Yep, that's the mission accomplished.
Bye bye.
And the two of them just kind of stare at you as you guys walk away. As you do, and you get far enough away, you see that the guard that you handed the book to starts reading it.
Son of a bitch. He's not taking the book. He is a liar.
All right, so where did you say that your guardian lived?
Oh, my guardian? I
Mhm.
live down by the docks. So normally I will go to school and then I just walk to the coast and then I walk home. Sometimes I feed crisp to the birds.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to go do that?
roll a persuasion check.
14 plus 8, 22.
He's like, sure, yeah. I guess this counts as work.
I'm gonna hang out with this guard and I'm gonna talk to him about the lovely socioeconomic state of the city in my innocent sort of teenage way that like I ask questions that adults think all the time but don't say out loud.
Yeah, you guys keep walking along, and he's like, it's really a shame because a loaf of bread used to cost me only 2 copper, and the past couple of years it's gone up to like 3 copper, and in some places it's pushing 4. That's double the price.
That's a lot of coins for bread.
Yeah, but I'm not getting paid anymore for doing what I'm doing. So really, if you think about it, they're just getting more money out of me.
Where does it go?
Isn't that the question? Not back into the city, I tell you that. And you guys keep walking and walking. And then like 20 minutes later, he's like, and you know what? I inherited that house, and somehow the mortgage is still through the roof. And then you keep walking and walking, and he keeps going on. And you learn a lot about this guy. And like, what's happening.
What's his name?
His name is Tyvon.
Tyvon?
Yeah.
Awesome. I develop a close friendship with Tyvon. I buy some. I spend some silver to get some more fucking chips to feed to the birds.
Yeah, you two just walk down the docks, and both of you like picking chips out of the little like cardboard like paper container, and sometimes you eat them, and sometimes they've got like a black spot on them, and you just throw them away, and a seagull just takes it and goes.
We hang out.
Yeah, do you
Eventually,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm like, eventually, after some time passes, just like, you have to go back to work.
Yeah, I probably should. We've been at this for some time, and although I think this does qualify as work, because I am helping the city, I probably should get back to doing my scheduled rotation.
Okay. I just live over there. I point to like some houses a little ways down. And just like, thanks for walking me here.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. Well, you know, it was nice to get to know you, and if you ever need help or anything, just we're always around.
Thank you. I give him like a little hug.
Yeah, he's like kind of taken aback by it at first. You see the arms go up, and he's like, "Oh, that's nice," and he just kind of pats you on the back of the head. Well,
have a good day.
Yeah, you too. I'll see you around. Just kind of stands in the street for a second before like, and then walks off. This is the start of The Last of Us. Suddenly, zombie apocalypse, and it's nothing but Klein and this one guard.
Klein just sits there for a second, throws like the last chip out to a bird, and just like, Scheiße, I did not want to be down here. I did not. Then I'm gonna find a way to just sort of pass the time until evening. I'll meander around. Oh god, what was the name of this street that we found on the spiral?
Oh, Torm Street?
Yeah, I'll wander not on Torm Street, but near there. Just sort of. Oh, also, I'm ditching the shoes.
Okay, sure.
I'll put them in a place where I can collect them later, but I am not wearing them at current.
Sure. Roll a... Oh, what did you do? Hide a thing. I guess I guess stealth would be the right thing to do. Stealth or sleight of hand, maybe, to hide a thing.
The same bonus for me, so. 14. I rolled 11.
14. Yeah, you deposit it somewhere. You feel somewhat confident that it's hidden.
Perfect. Don't get stolen. If you do, I won't be particularly sad. Walks. And I'm just gonna kind of peruse this general area, looking for any of those three whom I recognize. See
Sure.
if they turn up.
Well, Jump. You went and you bought some nice clothes. What else you got going on?
At this point, I think it's best to try and circle back, figure out what Felder got, if he's scoped out, and then I will report back to the building once all that's said and done.
Okay. Yeah, so you catch up with Felder in the normal place, although it is much later in the day by the time you get the chance to catch up. They were out most of the day trying to gain intelligence, and it took a while to get what they did. But you catch up in the tower. You see them not sitting this time, but arms folded, looking over the city. So I got a few things about the building. It's going to be a tough gig.
Yeah. Just from the inside, I kind of got that idea. Some information, but that Dominion rumor seems a little more true than just a rumor.
I think you're right. And I heard some stuff about that too, but here's what I'm finding based on my eyes. The bank guards, them in them silver blue armor, they rotate on an 8-hour basis. So the outside shift changes at 7 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, and 11 at night. From what I could see, the inside shift changes at 5 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 9 at night. So even when the outside is changing over, the inside will still be consistent. And also, they only, the guards that are getting off shift are only allowed to leave when they are replaced already. So there's never really a moment from what I saw where there's no guards. What I did note is that I'm pretty sure that they don't have anything to see invisible people or objects. So if you can sneak past them through either being invisible or by disguising yourself or by using your other means, that should work.
Right.
The gold fuckers are a different story. They don't rotate every 8 hours. They rotate every 6 hours. 12, 6, 12, and 6. Which means that there's probably more of them than there are bank guards, because you got to supply more time, or more shifts to people. So there's probably more people there. I didn't see inside the bank, so I don't know where they are, and I also don't know where they go when they're not at the bank. I'm guessing that they just ditch their armor and go and stay wherever they stay, but that's their shift changes. I got a few more things on them, though. They have a person in charge, a human woman by the name of Alba Itali. Roll a history check for me.
Sure. There it is. 17.
17. You've heard of this person. Only in the sense that you've heard of the Adamant Dominion, and she's a part of it. She's basically like a general of them. And she's known first and foremost for her intelligence. She's very good in social circumstances. And she's very good with her knowledge on things. But you also hear rumors of her being completely different when she's not putting up a face, you know. That she's almost sadistic. And strong and powerful and, you know, intimidating. So you've heard of her.
Okay. From what I've got, there's 8 inside at any given moment. A couple of the normal guys, but the Dominion, they survey. They're not really looking at you. They're not really looking at anyone, but at the same time, they're looking at everything and everyone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because they're too early. So from what I hear, Krem is moving a large amount of money out of the bank. He wants to ship it over to the next continent. The reason that I hear this is because I've heard tale that he wants to get out of Port Gestra. It's the reason that the Dominion are here. Because he's leaving the bank, and he's leaving the guards, and he's taking a vast majority of his wealth and the stuff that he's invested in the bank, and he's taking it overseas. Now, if this is true, that's a bad fucking thing. Because that means that the Dominion are going to have their claws in Port Gestra for a long time. And I don't know if you've heard this about the Dominion, but they fucking suck, right? They're monarchical dictators, and they will seize power in time here. And the last thing we need is for this place to turn into how it is over there. It's going to run us out of fucking business.
So he brought in an invasive species and now is just leaving the city to deal with it.
Pretty much. I can only assume that's one of the things that they got out of it. You know, out of this, whatever they're doing for him, protecting this money. I'm sure he's paying them, but they probably have another motive behind that, and it's probably seizing some kind of power in this city. This is one of the most important cities on this coast, because we ship to Isenra, to the Broken Empire, sometimes Parvere, and down to Trestle and beyond. So they get their hands in here. It's very good for them, very bad for us.
Okay, so a new wrinkle in the fold. Not only do we have to break into one of the most secure places ever, we now have to dismantle a potential coup of our way of life.
Well, someone's got to do it.
It just keeps getting more complicated.
Yeah, I don't know who gave you this still, but they picked a real convenient time for this to be happening.
Could be two-fronted. Maybe they heard the same chatter and think that taken from him before he leaves is some way to stop him from leaving, or at the very least take his bargaining chip from the Dominion.
Well, you're probably right, because if it don't happen now, and I don't know when they're leaving, but I know he's getting ready to. If we don't take this now, there won't be a next time. No.
Well, if I was unsure before, don't think I really have the room to be now, because it's either take this job and save our way of life, or don't take this job and fucked either way.
Listen, it's just a rumor, and you have to be hesitant with rumors, but it does come from a reliable source for me, so just be aware of that.
Got it. Well, I guess I will regroup with the band of merry men that have also picked up this job and see what they know.
Better hope they're fucking capable.
Above the table, I'm losing my shit.
Told you guys.
Yeah, they've got their damn skills.
Well, I hope so. Alright, when you start coming up with a plan, you let me know and make sure that they don't know that I'm involved yet.
You know how we do it?
I know.
Even when we're not on each other's jobs, we're on each other's jobs.
I know.
All right.
Alright.
Thank you.
Anytime. So
And,
you wait until the next group meeting, basically?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go back there either way and kind of start laying out things, seeing if I can pick together connections and.
Got you. So yeah, so you head back into towards Tom Street and back to the house. In the meantime, Akan and Ofgar, what did you guys want to do the rest of the day?
Of course, I've got an idea, but I don't know if you had one. Any thoughts?
Shoot.
Well, it seems to me that there is a nobleman, and Khan gestures to himself, and the way he looks right now with his glamored armor and his body, and gestures to Ulfgar. I think that if we hung out around the business district, we'd be able to find a nice little vantage point to just overhear this and that. What do you say?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Works. All right, let's be off. So this is my idea is like to find like just some kind of cafe or like tea house that is either nearby or like maybe has a balcony or something that overlooks the area outside of the steel bands. A place where we figure that people who do business at the steel bands would frequent, and to just order some drinks and sit down.
Sure, yeah, easy enough for you to do. You find a cafe in the general vicinity, and just kind of sit there for a while. And you're just eavesdropping for any particular information about the bank.
Well, first off, I want to know if I could spot Heskin and his gang working the floor, so to speak.
Sure, okay, so roll a perception check.
Dude, my perception check. That's a 7.
7. If Ulfgar's doing the same thing, then you can roll with advantage. Or Ulfgar, you can roll your separate perception if you have a better perception.
Wolfgar doesn't know.
Fair enough. Okay, well,
It is
so
what it is. Yeah.
so with the 7, you don't see Heskin anywhere.
Well, I'm guessing the kids are. I guess they have their own way to do things, so. Yeah. We're just gonna eavesdrop and see if there's anybody talking about the bank, any goings on. Maybe in particular, people who might have business at the bank that look more well off than the average already well off person. That might be deeper in the bank or might be more connected. Those sorts of things.
Okay. Roll another perception check.
I need to test these dice. Dude, not one.
Yeah, you're struggling right now.
I'm having a great night.
Dude, I'm mainly concerned by the fact that it's like I've been rolling real good today, and I'm worried when shit starts to go down that's all just gonna...
Yeah. I need to test these dice. It's been not a great day for these two boys.
Yeah, the time ticks on, and all you can really hear is that seaside wind, that breeze, just whipping at your hair and getting it in your eyes and your ears, and you just struggling to really maintain composure and focus on the things that you're trying to hear.
Zulfgar, normally this is exactly the place that you come to hear things. And I just cannot do that. I feel like I'm distracted by... I think you'd be understandable about what I might be distracted by. Kind of excited, scared, worried.
Can Ulfgar hear anything going on?
Roll a perception check.
That is a dirty 20.
You spent a fair amount of time out at sea, and this breeze is nothing but calming to you. You hear a complaint from a couple tables over about the brutish figures in yellow that have appeared at the bank that are making some of the really snooty noble ladies uncomfortable to do business. But that's about as much as you're hearing.
Makan, do you hear that over there? What they're talking about?
I can't hear anything, Ulfgar. What?
What do you mean you can't hear anything?
I mean, besides the wind and my own roiling mind.
You're not accustomed to the sea, but that's all right, lad. Those ladies over there talking about some brutish yellow figures, making them uncomfortable doing business at the bank. You're the one with words. Maybe you could find out some more info.
Brutish yellow thing. A little bit like you. And I'm gesturing to the gold inlays that are on his armor.
I suppose, but I don't know how much I really look like them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess I can go talk to them. We'll see what I can find out. So, Khan's gonna stand up and just approach the table.
Yeah, you approach the table and you see sitting there you know, in those time period pieces where the really posh women have the big Marge Simpson hair, but it's grey, and the lipstick that only covers the middle part of the lips, and they've got the fans that they're constantly fanning themselves with. That's basically what you're walking into. And as you look over at them, you're like, and you go up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so I need to get into this. So Khan is going, as he's walking up, his posture and his gait changes from his normal way into something a little bit more frivolous, and he starts to kind of do those, I don't know what you would even call them, wealthy people noises. The oh my goodness, oh gosh. And Khan is going to come up to them and just, oh my goodness, darlings, I could not help but overhear. Yes, exactly. Those figures. Oh my goodness, they are a terror. Wouldn't you agree?
There is a muttering of, oh my word, yes, how appalling their behavior is. Isn't that right, Marjorie? Oh yes, it's terrible.
Goodness, where did these people even come from? Surely they couldn't be of our fine city. Would you have any idea?
I don't know. I imagine they pulled them from the pits of hell. They are brutish people. Terrible monsters.
Could not have said it better myself. Well, do you have anybody? I really would like to take this to somebody. Maybe I could lodge a complaint, with, well, my banker might be able to take it up the chain, so to speak. I'm sure I could have my servant send over a very strongly worded letter to my banker. Maybe we could start a petition, if you will. What do you say?
I think that connections and money talk. I'll get all my friends on this immediately. They told me that Poopsie wasn't allowed in my vault. And she's got like this little like yappy ankle biter dog. It's like just sitting there with like a little hairdo.
Oh goodness, not poor Poopsie. What an adorable fellow, and dignified as well. Surely they must have made a mistake to not allow fine Poopsie in the vault.
Poopsie's like looking at you with one eye half closed and the tongue hanging out. If he could talk, he'd be like, "Kill me!"
Well, I might. Is there anybody whom I might be able to speak to besides my servants? I'm sure that my servants are useless. Maybe there's someone who could get this done faster. Someone more of good standing, someone more dignified and able to make things move.
You know what? I'm going to write a letter to Fideron Theskvin. That's what I'm going to do, and I'll be damn sure she gets it.
Theskvin herself? Oh my goodness, you are well connected. I would not presume to impose. I don't want to look like a climber, but goodness, I did not realize who I was talking to. Goodness, well, good day, my ladies. Thank you. I will be sure to lend my voice to your cause, because I also, and all of my friends, are suffering from the same plight as you. And Akan is going to just kind of make this very deep bow and just back out.
Yeah, you do the deep bow, and they like kind of hold their heads up and nod in agreement. And you back out. No names were exchanged during this at all. It was just like pompous outrage. Just shared amongst three people and then just went away. Yeah, you disappear.
God, let's go. I just nod at Ulfgar.
Ulfgar follows.
As we're walking out, Akan is going, like, his gait and his demeanor is going to morph back into his regular self, and he's going to just say, "Indeed, Ulfgar, the yellow brutes pulled from the pits of hell, and they are going to write a strongly worded letter to Fideron Theskvin. Interesting. How all roads lead to Fideron Theskvin." Well,
Perhaps we could help them deliver that letter.
wait a minute. Names were exchanged. I heard a Marjorie.
Yes, you're right. There was a Marjorie.
I don't know Marjorie who, but I would like to kind of walk. I'm going to just turn to Ulfgar. Ulfgar, what do you say we keep the act up? I want to just take a bit of a walk into the bank here, and have a look-see for myself, if you will.
Very well, Lord.
Yes, God. And the Khan is like, oh gosh, okay, here we go. And the Khan is going to spin himself back up, and as we approach the front gates of the bank, Akan is fully committed to his bid. And
Tight.
he's just going to try to stroll in as if he belongs.
Yeah, you just barge straight through those doors. There's a small line of people that go up to like that high counter with the hobgoblin on it. And you, acting like you belong, just walk straight by all the people. Like, march straight up to the hobgoblin, because you know that's what these people do, you know? You're being a Karen right now.
Mhm. Yep. So, excuse me, sir. I'm just going to do the...
Just kind of squints over at you.
Excuse me? My friend Marjorie wants to have a word with you-know-who about those brutish yellow figures that are lining the walls of the vault. They are frightening all of the customers. It is unimaginably inconvenient for all of us.
I'm going to offer you your choice here of persuasion, intimidation, or performance, because you're causing a scene.
Oh, straight up performance, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, come on, guys, don't do this to me.
And this entire time, Ulfgar is just standing behind him, intimidatingly as well.
Sure.
I'll take a 22.
22. Yeah, you just kind of hear this before the figure recedes, some scratching on some parchment, and then a like little paper airplane pops up and just whizzes by you, and off into the back right room. You wait 30 seconds before a gnomish woman walks out, flanked by a guard. This woman wears like kind of suitish type clothes. She's got very light brown thin hair that is pulled very, very tight against the head into a ponytail at the back. Very like business practical. And she also wears like ringed glasses that are a little bit too small but make her eyes a little bit bigger. And she walks up to you specifically and says,
Hi, I heard that Marjorie wants a word with me.
I'm just going to kind of just look, like, not like to be intimidating, but sort of in a very entitled way.
mm-hmm.
Just daggers at her, and just with really pursed lips. Mm-hmm. About those, well, brutish yellow figures flanking the sides of this foyer.
So,
There's something you could do about them?
where is she?
Oh, well, she's down by the cafe.
So
Well, to be honest, she was going to send a letter, but I chose to take the initiative to come inform you myself.
So why isn't she talking to me then?
She has things to do, obviously.
roll a deception check. That lady got nothing to do.
19.
Okay,
All our characters are stupid but charismatic.
did Marjorie say exactly what the issue was?
Charismatic.
She simply said that they are making all of the clientele deeply uncomfortable. They stare daggers at us as we innocently go about our business.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You tell Marjorie that she's welcome to come and talk to me anytime in person, and until then, I will have a word with the guards. Alright?
And like, I'm gonna cut her off like as she's finishing that sentence and just go, well, I mean, who even are these yellow figures? What are they doing here?
They are a foreign hire, and they are learning the etiquette of the bank. Alright? So, my deepest apologies to Marjorie, and we'll get it sorted, okay?
Well, let these foreigners know that if they want to do business in Port Gestra, they need to learn our ways.
I'll let them know.
And just wordlessly, Akan is going to turn around. God! And walk out of the bank.
Yeah.
Ulfgar will exchange a look before turning back around and following.
Yeah, you guys turn around and follow, and as you walk out the door, you swear that, like, in talking to her, you could see that she was kind of getting ticked off at everything that was happening, and there was definitely anger building up there. And as you walk out the door, you swear you hear her scream for all of the gold-clad people to meet with her in the guard room. Because she's not quiet about it. She's not being covert.
I would like to go back to the cafe to see if Marjorie and Poopsie are still there.
They are. Yep, they sure are.
Yes. I'm just going to brush by. Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you again. Well, I took it upon myself to go into the seal bands myself and speak with the one in charge, and she is having a word with those golden figures as we speak. It turns out they are a foreign hire, and they do not understand the etiquette of our city.
Oh, you have had much success at this, have you?
I'm sorry, I literally didn't understand what you just said.
You've had success.
Have you?
Well, God could swear that, I believe she is having a word with them as we speak.
It's at this point now that you realize that you've got this woman's attention. Like, before, she was, like, just kind of muttering in the space, not really looking at you, just kind of throwing words out there and engaging in the conversation. But now that you've done something, she, like, is turning and she's looking at you, and she's actively, like, taking note of who you are. She says, "My word! And I do admire a go-getter. What was your name?"
My name is, well, a little mystique never hurt anybody, did it? My darling.
Oh, I like you. Yes, mystique it shall be then.
Mm,
Well, I hope to see you around.
I'm sure. I believe you do frequent this establishment. Not the finest, but I believe it is nice to get closer to the people once in a while, wouldn't you say?
Of course, we must go down to their level on occasion.
Of course, otherwise how will we ever govern them?
Yes, alright, isn't that right, Poopsie? And she kind of pets his head, and as she does, like, his eyeballs, like, go wide as she's pulling the eyelids back.
Well, I shall be around, my darling. Hope to see you again soon.
I do hope so.
Indeed.
You turn and walk away, and you swear you see her looking at your butt.
Awesome. Okay.
Just straight up.
Yep. As we leave the cafe.
Yeah.
When I'm rich, Ulfgar, please never let me become that way.
Yes, this just reminded me that I would never like to become this.
Ugh, I just want money. I don't want to be money. So we go back to you-know-where and meet you-know-who?
Indeed.
Yes.
I love that in that whole engagement, Ulfgar just didn't say a word. Just, like, walking around after you, just, like, hanging out, chilling out there. Alright, so, as you guys all head back to Torm Street to communicate your information that you've learned for the day, we are going to end that episode there. We are a little bit over time. So,
I'm sorry. I just had to.
Do not apologize. That was wonderful.
No, I loved it.
no, it's super cool.
No eye contact. I had to stay locked on other screens because if I looked at this, I would just be giggling to myself the entire time.
That was wonderful. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a real mixed bag of people, this city, huh?
That's a way to put it.
So we will return here next time, hopefully +1, where we will discuss some more information and do some more heist prep, and then we'll be looking to do said heist pretty soon, as it turns out. Huh?
I hope Grace has collected a lot of information about the heist she doesn't even know about yet.
We will communicate some to Grace in the meantime, and then I'm sure it will come out in game in the next session. I hope. But yeah, so we'll catch up here next session. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. Let's keep making stories together, and we'll catch everyone next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Good.